Don't worry, I'm here. I just forgot to turn my mic on. Alright, here we go. A regular Saturday stream. So, I learned the hard way that if you're gonna save scum Pokemon eggs, you've got to save before you give the Pokemon to the daycare. Because somehow, I guess when they determine whether the Pokemon are compatible or not, that generates what the eggs what the Pokemon stats are going to be from their hatched egg. Like, that's the point at which. And then when you get an egg, that also determines what the next egg is going to be, apparently? Something like that. So, yeah, so here I am. I'll show you the work I did. I haven't done much since last stream, but I did. I got Serpentina and Serpentino gave birth to a beautiful baby girl, Cobra Queen, who I believe should have the right shiny stats. It's hard to tell. And then Cobra Queen... or no, what am I talking about? I got Gyarados and Serpentina to give birth to Cobra Queen, who has DV genes. And then Cobra Queen and Serpento, who are not related, were able, after many, many tries and me realizing how the actual save skimming work, gave birth to Cobra King, who should also have shiny genes. Yeah. Because he inherits the opposite sex parents' DVs. And now, Cobra King. So Cobra King is part of the Dragon and Field Egg groups, I believe. That's how Ekans and Arbok work. And Malifie, the Mareep, is also part of the Field group. So they can breed, and because Malifie is the Goyle, their baby will always be a Mareep. And if she's a girl Mareep, she'll inherit Cobra King's DVs. And of course, I've saved right before handing them off to the daycare people, so now all we have to do is wait for them to give birth to, or to lay an egg. We gotta wait for Malifie to lay... Once Malifie lays an egg, we pick it up, and then we just keep, we save scum until we get a shiny Mareep. Just interest in Malifie. Because otherwise, we would have to breed their baby girl. I think I got this backwards then. Because... right? The girl will have a DV. So, I don't know, Rita Rose is not a part of this equation, I guess, after all. I thought I understood what I was doing, but I think I screwed it up. Because basically, if I wanted to... like, I could go a further step and get two Mareep to mate with each other, but because Mareep... the chances of a Mareep having... being one or the other gender is split, is like an even split. It's 50-50 male versus female, so either can be shiny. Female Mareep or male Mareep can be shiny, and that means that we don't need to do the extra step that we will need to do for Eevee to get a shiny Eevee. Because, yeah, for some reason I was thinking that I would need to get to pass down the genes to get a Mareep with shiny genes, and then to breed that, but I don't need to. We only need to do this, so we just keep going up and down. I think I explained this in the last stream, but this path that I'm taking up through Goldenrod is about 53 steps all the way down to the grass, so you can do one loop for a little more than 100 steps. And it's generally... from what I read, it's generally a good idea to go, like, about 250 to 500 steps before you check in on the daycare to see if there's an egg there. So I'm doing like 2 laps. I mean, I'm checking every 1 lap because why not? But you could do like every 2 laps you come back down to check. And then it should be 5,200 steps to hatch the egg. I think, maybe. And we'll be able to see the daycare man out in the yard if there is an egg to pick up. I don't know why I said that weird. But yeah, this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing late until last night, yesterday with no luck, and then today I was like, what if I've got to save scum before handing off the Pokemon for some reason? Or not even that, it's that I actually when I hatched the egg and I didn't get a boy Ekans, which is what we need. I just tried, instead of save scumming, I just tried putting them in the daycare again, and I finally got a boy. So... And then the inimitable, the incredible, the amazing Tudai, who digs into all sorts of games code and like is very familiar with decomps and stuff like this. Tudai was actually kind enough to just, you know, unprovoked, just posted like, oh hey, this there's a decomp of these games that proves that yes, you the stats for the Pokemon in the egg are determined when you have 2 Pokemon and the game determines their compatibility. But also, apparently, when you pick up an egg, the game will also calculate like what the egg stats are going to be, so I don't know exactly how that works. But the point being, if you save after you've put 2 Pokemon in the daycare, then you're always going to get the same egg if you reset. And we're going to put that to the test. I'm going to pay attention to the stats of our egg that we hatched, which is going to be a Mareep, but the gender is going to be random, and the shininess is going to be random too. That's the thing. Oh man, it'll be so frustrating. Imagine what's going to happen is I'm going to get like... Actually, no. Only the female Mareep... Only a female Mareep out of this egg can be shiny because Malifie doesn't have shiny genes. So if we get a male Mareep, it won't have shiny genes. Unless Malifie actually happens to have... No, she can't. They're compatible, so... That's another thing about shinies, is if, I'm pretty sure if both parents have shiny genes, then they won't be compatible, because that means that they're potentially related. Did we actually check if they like each other? Cobra King, there's this daycare. Yeah, okay, yeah. They like each other. They like each other. So yeah. It's neat. It's neat the way they get this game. Yeah, we get to enjoy what I was doing at the end of the stream. And then after this, we're gonna breed a shiny Mareep. Shiny girl Mareep. And then I'm gonna go back to Gold, and we're gonna play Pokemon Gold for the first time in a few weeks. But I'm gonna resume the Gold playthrough by breeding a shiny Eevee. So we're gonna hopefully by the end of this stream have a shiny Mareep in Silver and a shiny Eevee in Gold. And that shiny Eevee, he will one day grow up to be an Umbreon. And if there's like a if it doesn't take too long to do this, like if it doesn't take too long, then I will. Oh man. If it doesn't take too long, then I will do something extra that I wanted to do because it's a Saturday. I wanted to do something in Pokemon Gold that we'll be able to do because it's a Saturday, but not on Monday. That'll be a fun little extra bonus. A bonus on the bonus. I think the radio changes over, because it would be really nice to have the radio on while we're doing this. But I think when we leave Goldenrod on the lap, yeah, the radio shuts off. I don't know why it does. I don't know why they let it do that. Just saying, if I were to remake this game, or to make like an open source, you know, code base to run it, like I would give you the option for the radio to stay on, until you decide to turn it off. Do they even have in-game radios anymore? I feel like they dropped... They had this feature in this game, and then they like just didn't introduce it again. And we like just got to the part of the game where the radio station is actually relevant. Because it's like, this strange broadcast signal coming from Mahogany, this radio signal, it's making all the Gyarados. Or it's enraging all the Magikarp to turn into Gyarados. That was something I wanted to check out. Like, if we play the radio signal while we're in the lake, does it turn? Do we encounter Gyarados instead of Magikarp? That'd be neat. Oh, maybe that's why... You know, I didn't put it together. We fought a trainer last time who had like a level 10 Gyarados or whatever, 15 Gyarados. Way too low level. And I guess he went up to the Lake of Rage and got a Gyarados that was like forcibly evolved by this mysterious radio signal. Who could be sending out a radio signal that forces Pokemon to evolve? To what end? Oh yeah, I thought it was neat that there were two different people with two different ideas about how the Lake of Rage was formed. One person said that it was a crater from like an asteroid impact that filled with rainwater. But then somebody else said that it was that the lake was created by raging Gyarados, which is why they call it Lake of Rage. So it's like, it feels like a neat little thing. Like that's how things come to be in the real world, where there's like a plausible explanation for something, but then also the legends, the myths created by the people who have lived in the place long before we could understand why something is the way it is. It might also just be a reference to a real-world lake, now that I think about it. Like, maybe there's a real-world lake where people were like, ah yes, ancient, like, whales formed this lake or whatever. And then, like, scientific investigation turned out it was, like, a asteroid or a meteor impact or whatever. Oops, pardon me. Wait, it takes a lot longer, potentially, a lot longer, to get them to lay an egg when they're two different species. I mean, yeah. Sometimes with both the Ekans, it wouldn't take all that long. Like, I could do 2 laps and suddenly there's an egg already. And then sometimes they would have to go up like 4 levels each. Because one reason to be save scumming with shinies is that it'll eat up your money. Because I'm pretty sure you have to pick up the Pokemon from the daycare and then put them back in to get a new egg. Or even if you don't, you should take them out of the daycare because they're just sitting there gaining levels when you're not actually... When you're carrying the egg around to incubate it. Oh. Oh, hey, Stream Elements. Jeez. Why is Stream Elements so delayed sometimes? I've been streaming for almost 20 minutes and now it does the, like, intro message. Maybe I have to, like, deliberately sign in. Anyway. Yeah. So I was gonna play my Wii U for the first time in a while yesterday. And I noticed that the gamepad was having some problems charging. But I didn't think too much of it. I was like, oh, sometimes the red light blinks and then sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it actually holds a charge. And yesterday it was blinking, and so I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I plugged in the charge port and it went pop! And turned off immediately. I was like, uh-oh. And sure enough, I looked at the back, and like the battery case had burst out like in a... It was like actually like a chest burster was ready to come out of there. And sure enough, I struggled. I had to find a screwdriver because there's tiny little screws on the back of this thing. I found a screwdriver that was small enough to open it up, and sure enough, the battery had like burst, like the seal on it hadn't burst. There was no acid anywhere, which is lucky. But the battery itself had detonated or something. I don't know what you call that, but it's like it's been inflated a little bit. And now I gotta go get a new one. I'm waiting for one in the mail as we speak. Because I like my Wii U. It's got some very particular uses. And it's my preferred way to stream Wii games. Because I use the HDMI out, and the resolution is like a little bit better, even though the upscaling is awful on the Wii U. It's like, it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off because the RetroTink doesn't, like, I don't know, the RetroTink output doesn't look great. Oh, you know what it is? I keep forgetting. It was Monster Hunter Tri in particular is why I like using the Wii U, because it's just too hard to see at, to read anything in the game at, like, the normal, the 480i resolution. I was like, you gotta put it out on the HDMI out. Oops. Gotta get it on a progressive scan. And my TV won't do that, and the RetroTink doesn't seem to support it. There probably is a way to stream from a Wii using progressive scan output that isn't like weird, like potentially unreliable HDMI converter things. I don't know. Maybe that's the only way to do it. Or no, that can't be right. Like, you need the composite cables or something, which I think I used to have. But I gave them away. I gave them away to somebody who could use them, because until I got a RetroTink, I didn't have a use for those cables. Or it's not composite. Is it composite? Whatever it is, where they split the red, green, and blue channels of video into 3 cables. What the heck is going on here? They do like each other, right? I'm gonna check again, just sure. Hey, Malafi. You like Cobra King? You do. Cobra King, what do you think of Malafi? Alright. Maybe it just feels like a long time because I'm trying to fill the space by talking. But yeah, now my Wii U is sitting dormant, unusable. I'd really love to figure out the red light on the console as well, because that's a problem I had for a long time, where more often than not it just won't start up and the red light will blink. And the solution, which works every time, although I can't understand why, is if I blow hot air through the system for like 30 seconds to a minute. Like, not even especially hot air, just like, I have this, like, I have this electronic duster, like, that's meant for electronics, like, you blow it through your computer to get the dust out. That ends up heating up a little bit as I use it, and the air gets, like, kind of warm. Not as hot as, like, a hairdryer, but, like, just a little warm. And that ends up being enough heat, or, like, air movement or something, to do something to the system? I honestly don't know. Maybe the CPU gets too cold somehow, but like my room isn't that cold. So I really don't know what it is. I wish I had an idea. But in my experimentation, as long as I like turn on the console and let it run for like an hour or 2 every day, then it won't have that problem. But if it sits for too long without being turned on, like a couple days or a week, then it just won't start. And I have no idea why. I even replaced the fan with a new one, and that didn't make a difference. Oh, that was it. I actually took it apart, and I applied the heat with the blower like I normally would, but I moved the fan out of the way so that it wouldn't be affected. I removed it as a variable. Ah, here we go. I removed it as a variable, and the heat trick did work, like blowing it on like the rest of the console. So it's not the fan. I don't know why. My goodness, we're surprised your Pokemon had an egg. We don't know how it got there, but your Pokemon had it. Do you want it? Jeez. You know, the daycare people are watching over our Pokemon, right? But like, how did they not notice where the egg came from? They say that every time. Whoa, he grew by 13? Wow, that really did take a long time. See, this is why we save Scum, because expensive, man. It's expensive to get these Pokemon to breed with each other. And then how much is Malafi grown? 15. I wonder why she grew more levels. Look at that, Cobra King. Cobra King was level 5, and now he's 18. Okay, so now we can watch the egg. There are 3 stages. There are 3 messages to the egg. And, we'll see them progress. I think with the Togepi, because Togepi apparently takes a little longer than most eggs to hatch. When they give you the Togepi egg as part of the plot, I think it starts at like halfway done, because it's got the second message that's like, it's making sounds inside, it might hatch soon. But that's only the second of 3 messages. And so now it begins. I believe for Mareep it's 5,200 steps, so we need to make about 50 laps. I think it's a little less than 50 because of those extra 3 steps in each direction. So each lap gets extra 6. Yeah, so what would 50... With 106 steps every lap, 50 laps would actually be... Oh yeah, it would actually be 5,300. So yeah, 49 should do it. Or it'll be 49 and then we have to go a little further. 49 and then 6 extra steps will actually get it. So I don't even count when I do this, it's just keep going. I might actually switch over to the GameCube controller, because like this is just me and my sensitive thumbs, but like my sensitive fingers, but it kind of hurts after a while just holding down the D-pad. Up and then down, and then up and then down. We'll see. If this first egg isn't shiny, which it probably won't be, then I might switch over. Save some battery on my Game Boy. I think the only reason I like using the Game Boy Advance proper is because its D-pad is a little better than the GameCube D-pad. Not a very good D-pad on the GameCube controller. I generally like the GameCube gamepad, but like D-pad's not very good. Not very good there. It's funny because the N64 had a massive D-pad, but most games didn't use it because the analog stick was where it was at. I say most games. Many games didn't use it. At least all the like favorite and best ones that everybody likes. Always use the D-pad for everything. Oops. Or always use the game controller analog. What am I saying? I think the only game I can remember where the D-pad was the main mode of input instead of the analog stick was Pokemon Stadium. I wonder if they did that for Stadium 2 as well. Never played Stadium 2. I guess I could play it now that I have a flash cart for the N64. Yeah, I found a lot of ROM hacks as well that I want to try out on that flash cart, which are supposedly console hardware compatible. I think they were mostly like Legend of Zelda and Mario 64 ROM hacks. I should say Ocarina of Time ROM hacks. Hey Kubo Felice, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I'm just making conversation with myself while I'm doing eggs. Yeah, we're hatching. I'm at the stage where I may get a shiny from this egg. So yes, we are hatching eggs. I spent this morning finally getting the Ekans that I need. So we had a male Ekans with shiny genes, and a female Mareep lay an egg, and then that's the egg I'm carrying around right now. Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to hatch, I'm hoping to hatch 2 shinies this stream. It'll be the Mareep, and then we'll switch back over to Gold. And in Pokemon Gold, we're gonna hatch another one. I forgot, have you played much Pokemon lately? I realized that I downloaded a whole bunch of ROMs in my for my Game Boy Advance flash cart, and I realized one of them was the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red. Sounds neat. Like I'd seen a stream, a let's play of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Sky, Explore the Sky or whatever. And it had a surprisingly like sad, surprisingly like emotional ending. The Mystery Dungeons are good, yeah, so good. Yeah, that's what I heard. I think someone from last stream was echoing this sentiment, and I can believe it. I never played them as a kid. I remember seeing Mystery Dungeon Blue and Red in GameStop. Yeah, or in EB Games. I think it was EB Games, actually. I remember seeing them in an EB Games, and I was like, what is this? This is not the kind of Pokemon I want to play, and then I never played them. But they could be fun. I love, I've realized that I love doing voices in games with, like, in, like, RPG games and stuff on stream, so maybe I'll do a stream of some of those old games sometime. Yeah, they're pretty different. Yeah, they have like they have this sort of roguelike layout of the dungeons. Like actually, then you have like actually roguelike where you're moving on a grid and you sort of attack by bumping into stuff. Because I've played Rogue, the original Rogue, a little bit, so I recognized immediately. I was like, oh wow, this is like they made a Rogue Pokemon. Oh hey, Chainsaw Jody, welcome to the stream. Actually, we can check on the egg. I've not been counting the laps I'm doing, but yeah, we're at stage 2. This is a Mareep egg. Yeah, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, I feel kind of silly, though, that almost every time I think about a game I would like to try, it's always like partly in the realm of like, am I going to also stream it, or do I want to play it off stream? It feels weird. Like I was thinking, you know, I've encountered a few games on like watching people play them on YouTube where one of my first thoughts was like, oh, this would be a fun stream game. And I'm like, what am I? What have I become? I'm not even a professional streamer. I'm thinking this way. Yeah. My weekend is going well, Chainsaw. How about you? It's, although it's kind of rainy, I've been staying in today. Slept in very late. And, oh, why am I checking I don't need to check the daycare. I'm so used to checking the daycare for the eggs, I'm like, which mode am I in right now? My brain is broken. We're in incubation mode, we're incubating the egg. This is like, they would finally make this real in Pokemon Go, where you have to walk to hatch your eggs. And your real life steps contribute to the egg, whatever eggs you have in the incubator. Yeah, that was part of the monetization for Pokemon Go, right? Like you got one free like egg incubator, but you could buy more, or maybe you could get some at Pokestops. This felt a little bit like single-use ones that you could get. This felt a little bit I mean, they've got to make their money some way, but it always felt like a little iffy to me. I don't know. I'm not a fan of microtransactions. Even the cosmetic ones. Like, I've heard a lot about, a lot of discussion around Fortnite and, like, kids bullying each other because, like, bullying each other into getting, you know, the emotes or the skins or whatever. And some of that is, like, on the kids and, like, the environment they're in. But some of that is also on the developers, right? Like, you created this environment where, like, the strongest commodity among children is the ability to buy things. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know that I like that. But naturally playing Pokemon, a game intended for children, and we're talking about one of the biggest children's games, Fortnite. It's like that and Roblox are very problematic. Like, I would be... Like, I don't have kids, but if I did, I'd be very concerned about those spaces. I think you would have to have, like, a talk. You'd have to have a talk about, like, responsible spending and stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe in a weird way, both of those games actually provide, like, because they're so problematic, they provided, like, a decent space to teach your children about responsibility and, like, problems of bullying and stuff. Oh, wait, what are we doing? We're not gonna fight this Rattata. Get out of here. The Rattata wants in on the conversation, too. He's like, yes, I have feelings about Fortnite as well. Oops. And children's game economics. I don't know, Roblox also has the problem of, like, basically child labor, like, employing children to make maps and stuff. It's very... makes me uneasy. Oops. But anyway, be sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth discussion of the ethics of video games and children's media. Oh. Okay, we're gonna get us hatching soon. Here we go. Moment of truth. So, oh man, I will be so disappointed if we get a shiny, but it's a boy instead of a girl. Because I have a name ready for a girl, Mareep. And she's gonna be part of my core team. She's gonna go with us all the way to the Elite Four. But I want her to be a shiny, because I've never had a shiny in these games. Shiny, shiny, shiny. And if she's not a girl, we reset. We do a soft reset, and hopefully it takes less time to get an egg, and we save some money. Anyway. Oh, that was the other thing. I'm trying streaming through my VPN, because I just forgot and I left it on. Oh. Put a pin in that. Egg hatching time! Here she comes! I hope. We're gonna know if she's shiny right away. She or he. No, no shiny. Mareep came out of its egg. Oh, we're not gonna give a nickname to the Mareep, but I am gonna check its stats. Man, we got a boy too. Bad luck, bad luck. So, he won't even have shiny genes. Okay, we got 10, 9, 12, 10, 9. I'm gonna... Oh, I do have... Yeah, I have Sublime text on this computer. I'm just gonna open a text document and write down the stat. Because I want to be sure that we actually get a different Pokemon when I save Scum right now. There we go. Oh, jeez. Change the log. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. So we've got 10, 9, 12, 10, 9. And I guess I should check the HP too. We got 21. Okay. Time to reset. Oh, time... No, I was gonna say time paradox. That's not it. We're just rewinding. Oh, it's like it never happened. Okay, we want Cobra King, who has the shiny DVs. And Malamphy, who is the species that I want. Yes. Now, I don't have to check because I already know that they will like each other. The only time that they won't like each other is if they're potentially related. And like the DVs are comparable, whatever. Here we go. Oops. yeah, I'm streaming through my VPN, and hopefully the stream is smooth, that like plays well. I don't know, because VPNs always take a toll on your upload and download speeds. Even the best ones, they take like a little bit, just by the nature of how they work. So I'm keeping an eye on the bitrate. The bitrate is doing pretty well. It looks like it's okay. But yeah. And I don't know, maybe my VPN is smart enough to notice that, to like understand that I'm streaming, and it like won't try to change, it'll try to maintain like the same IP address. Or whatever. The same server connection. Don't know. I wasn't planning on testing it, but I accidentally left it on tonight, and then I thought like, well, you know, if it's on, I may as well like keep it on and then just like see how it pans out. Because, you know, internet privacy. It's like I've been like not really thinking too hard about it, but just lately learning more and more about, not even learning more, just like thinking more about how little protections we have. And I think there was some bill going through recently that's like gonna, oh that's right, it's somebody's trying to attach some bill to like the spending that we like have to get through so the government doesn't shut down, that will basically allow the FBI, the NSA, and other stuff to like legally monitor all of your communications without a warrant. So that's bad. Like, actually, not that they weren't doing that now, but like they're allowed to just seize any of that information anytime they want. And it's totally allowed. Or at least I think if the bill goes through, it will be. I don't know if that's happened yet. Sucks. Really sucks. So I'm like, you know what? Screw that. I'm gonna do whatever I can to undermine that. And I finally did. I finally got one. For sure it's on my phone all the time, at all times, because, you know, our phones are like really vulnerable to getting like data, you know, harvested and all this stuff, and like you should protect your phone. Especially since two-factor authentication is usually done through phones, then it's like, if somebody gets access to your phone or your SIM card or whatever, then they can just start getting into all your accounts. Oops. It reminds me of that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing, which I think is in the last book, Mostly Harmless, where Ford Prefect steals this card that's got like all this DNA and all this other identification for this guy in it, and it's like, you know, Douglas Adams as the narrator even says something like, it was a very silly thing for this, you know, CEO of this corporation to have, but sure enough, it was really handy for Prefect to have, because, or for Ford to have, because like he could just take it and impersonate this guy and like put like whatever charges on his account that he wanted. I forget what he did with it. It was necessary for him to... Actually, I don't remember what he used it for. But he like stole it from the guy after he knocked him out in the Hitchhiker's Guide headquarters, because they were trying to do... That's right. Mostly Harmless is like a parallel universe story. It's where Hitchhiker's Guide really just... It just culminates in the bizarre and the absurd. Like, the Hitchhiker's Guide company decides to, like, create a version 2.0 that can, like, cross universes so that they can sell. It's so dumb. But it's, like, it's so true of, like, how capitalism would utilize, like, interdimensional travel or whatever, like, the multiverse. Is that they just want to sell Hitchhiker's Guides to everywhere across the universe, across the different universes. It's weird. That's a weird series. Because, spoiler, but the books which are different from the radio play and different from the TV show adaptation and different from the movie with Martin Freeman and Mos Def, the books end with everybody getting blown up by the Vogons because they also want to Either they want to or they've been contracted to build a hyperspace bypass through like every version of Earth across the multiverse. So yeah, that's how that book ends. The story ends. They just get blown up. Right? Because yeah, they end up on Earth. They end up on Earth in an alternate reality where the Earth still exists, and then they get blown up, which is sad because the fourth book. Yeah, there are 5 Hitchhiker's Guide books, Hugo. Yeah, that the fourth book actually has a happy ending for Arthur Dent, more or less. I think, unless I'm misremembering how the book ends. But then, yeah, by the 5th book, it's just like, nah, they all blew up. Capitalism killed everybody. It's like they all get, I think even Beeblebrox is with them. Like all of our main cast end up in one place after being split up for like multiple books. And then the planet gets blown up. It's kind of a bummer. I kind of wish that the TV, like the BBC adapted like the first 2.5 books or just first 2 books into a TV show. That was kind of neat. It's the one that has the like very gray, blocky Marvin the Robot. If you've ever seen like clips or images of it. And they end on this kind of ambiguous point in the story where like Arthur and Ford are stuck on, I forget how it is. Where do they like end up back in time, I think. They end up in like, they end up getting sent back in time to like the point where Earth was supposed to get populated by a bunch of, or no, yeah, they get sent back in time to Earth when some like luxury cruise line crash landed, and the humans on that ended up taking over like the native people of the Earth who were supposed to like solve big deep thoughts question to answer, like find the question to the answer of the universe or what. It's the Hitchhiker's Guide. Trying to explain the Hitchhiker's Guide series makes you sound like a raving madman, so I'll just stop there. But I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the books a lot. And I have this big leather-bound tome of all 5 books and a short story that actually explains... it's about Zaphod Beeblebrox discovering that like Ford Prefect is some kind of... I don't know, I forget what it is. He discovers that like Ford Prefect is some kind of like super dangerous bioweapon or something. Like he's not like a normal alien. He's actually he was like created in a lab or something and has, I forget. It's called Zaphod Plays It Safe, and it takes place, I guess it takes place before any of the books, because it's before he like wins the presidential election and steals the spaceship, which I forget what it's called. Yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, everybody. It's like the Heart of Gold, was that what it's called? I think so. Yeah. With the improbability drive. Which is such a brilliantly absurd concept that, like, the best way to travel great distances really fast is to generate things that are, like, more improbable than suddenly appearing at your destination. And so you appear at your destination because it's more likely to happen. It's this very twisted understanding of quantum physics that, like, is fine. I don't think they even mention quantum, actually, so I think maybe it's supposed to be built on some kind of future space alien understanding of physics that we don't have yet. Anyway, Pokemon don't have to think about that. They don't know. They just shoot their little electric bolts at each other and breathe fire and stuff. Or if it's that Mewtwo movie, they fight clones of themselves in like a really like sad, depressing way that's like, oh, this is not how Pokemon were meant to fight, instead of recognizing that, like, maybe Pokemon shouldn't be fighting. The Pokemon anime is, like, really... It's really cleverly designed, I want to say, where, like, Ash... I think I've talked about this in a previous stream before, but, like, Ash being a quote-unquote bad trainer or whatever, like, they set him up as a trainer who doesn't conquer Pokemon, right? He makes friends. And that's, like, that's a huge step to getting people on board with the idea of Pokemon, which is that you aren't capturing wild animals, like, in a net and then forcing them to fight against their will. No. You're making friends with Pokemon, and then you battle for honor and glory, and to, like, strengthen your bonds, your friendly bonds of friendship and love and compassion and friendship. It's not like dogfighting. No. It's not like that at all. Where'd you get that idea? I think they go out of their way to demonstrate that Pokemon is all about... They go out of their way to demonstrate the counterexamples in the TV show a lot, and then the first movie... In the first movie, Mewtwo does a eugenics, and they're like, no, this is bad. Like, see, look, Mewtwo's the bad guy for doing this. Like, this is what it would be like if the Pokemon, like, fight to, like, hurt each other. But what we do is okay, it's just like a competition. It's like a martial arts. Oh, Pokemon. Oh, wait, actually. I mean, I say all this in a critical way, but I am trying to breed a Pokemon with a specific set of genes, aren't I? Pokemon is about eugenics. Are you saying Pokemon is already about eugenics? Is that right? Does that make sense? Breeding for certain stats certainly seems like it is. Like, I guess breeding anything is a form of eugenics, right? Like, you're trying to control... Like, your intention is to control what the outcome looks like. Like, that's why dog breeds, like, are all messed up. Or not even why they're messed up, but why they look the way they do is because we created them that way. Playing God. We shouldn't be playing... We didn't stop to think about whether we should. We only thought about whether we could. Butchering the lie. Yeah. I don't know. Like, ostensibly, Pokemon is supposed to be about, like, friendship and training and, like, proving that you're the best through hard work, which I think is like, that's kind of the opposite of eugenics, right? Like, in a weird... I will attempt to argue here that the beauty of Pokemon is that you don't... Is that, like, you can catch a Pokemon with the worst possible EVs, or it's not EVs, the worst possible DVs or IVs, so, like, their inherent, like, statistical values, and, like, you can train them up, and, like, through hard work, they can become a powerful Pokemon who's, like, able to do anything. But also, if you know about how that stuff works, then you can manipulate it, and, like, now you're just a dog breeder. Yeah, dog breeds are pretty messed up. Yep. Yeah, I made the mistake of looking at what like the bones, like the skeletons of certain dogs look like, and it's not good. I just find, like, that stuff interesting, like in the same way that dinosaur fossils are interesting. But, like, if it's like dog breeds that we've made, and certain cat breeds too, I think it's not cool. It's not fun. Like, I can never look at a pug the same way again. They just look like... To me, they just look like creatures that live with a higher level of suffering. But, I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know that they do for sure. Maybe pugs are doing okay, but they look to me like they're struggling. Makes me sad. Because there's, like, a famous photo of what pugs used to look like before we started really messing with them, and it just looks like a normal dog. Like, it looks cute. It still looks cute, but, like, it looks like a normal dog with, like, it actually has a snout. Yeah. It's funny because thinking about it, like Pikachu is supposed to be a mouse, but it also has a flat face. It has a flat kind of human-like face, the same way that pugs do. But ostensibly, Pokemon are like natural creations. So like Pikachu is like okay as it is. It wasn't like bred to be that way. But I don't know. It makes you think. It's like, as humans, we just have this propensity to create things that look more like us. It's kind of where like furry art gets into things, I think. And I mean just in the sense of like the way that like animal characters have human features, because that's what's appealing to humans. Makes me wonder what kind of art like a gorilla would make or something, if they had the propensities that we do to create, you know, artworks and like cartoons and stuff. Like what kind of facial features would they latch onto for their cartoons and stuff, you know? Like, how would animals that look and behave differently from humans start to, like, decide to create visual artwork? Experts reveal what dogs used to look like, and now your heart hurts. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like some of this stuff about, like, animal breeds is, like, toxic is the wrong word, but it's like it's almost like it's almost like dangerous knowledge or like harmful knowledge. Like just even discussing the topic, I always feel a little nervous of like, oh, if you actually look this stuff up, it'll probably make you sad. Like you said, it'll make your heart hurt. Yeah. It's a good reason. Hey, here's a silver lining. Always go to like your animal pounds or like rescue centers to pick up like whatever animals are being left around, and don't go to a breeder, because whatever breeders are producing are like not going to be. Well, for one thing, the breeders are like producing animals like when there are needy animals who are not going to survive if you don't pick them up, but also, you know, the like mutts and the like healthy kind of. The healthy critters who aren't being picked up by anybody need people to be taken care of. Yeah, always adopt. And I mean, you know, sometimes there might be like, and if you're still able to find like a pug or a flat-faced, those cats that have like the fat faces cute, then like sometimes those are in there, and you can adopt one of them's. But yeah, I think like I grew up in like a cat family. We always had cats because, you know, we lived in an area where it was like easier to, like, it wasn't really practical to take care of a dog, I don't think. And yeah, we always got cats from, I think with one exception, we always got cats from like a shelter. Or no, that was it. We always got cats either from a shelter or like a family, like a crazy cat lady, or like a family that just had kittens they couldn't keep, you know, like... Yeah, exactly. They already exist and need a home. They need love. Exactly. We don't want to feed the breeding market. Yeah. And it's like, I heard about, it was tempting to think about, it's tempting to dream about the, what are they called? There's like a breed of cat called a pixie bob, which, the story is crazy. The story is that apparently this lady had a cat, she had a cat named Pixie, who I guess was a girl cat, who she would let outside, and somehow she got pregnant from a wild bobcat, and like the babies are like this bobcat mix that are like, you know, they're kind of clever, and they're also like not very, and they're like decently healthy or whatever, but they're still a breed. So like, there's a poor cat in a shelter who needs a home that would be taken if you like pick up like a pixie bob, and it's like, man. There's also a part of me that like doesn't want to rain on the parade of people who take a lot of pride in breeding different breeds and stuff, because I've seen the occasional video of conferences where people are like, you know, well, I like worked to make this breed that has like these stripes or these spots or whatever, and it's like, but it's also gross. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that, please. It's just like, we have so many animals that need homes. And like, that's the thing. In an ideal world, you would have like, there would be space for animal breeds, because like you wouldn't have any shelter animals who need to go to homes and stuff. But that's the world we live in. We gotta live responsibly. Oh hey Roxars, welcome to stream. I am on my second attempt to get it's taking a long time to get an egg from these two. How's it going? I just realized I've been biking like about as long enough to hatch another egg, I think. Oh. I mean, I'm gonna check again, but I'm pretty sure. You doing okay? Yeah, Cobra King likes Malafi. Or Malafi, and Malafi likes Cobra King, yeah. What the heck? What the heck, guys? How many levels have they gone up? We can check. Oh, oops. Wait, I clicked no too early. Oh my god, it grew more levels than the first time. Well, I'm gonna keep biking, though. I keep going. Okay, so I do have a theory as to how Pokemon can breed across species, because, like, you gotta wonder, like, how could all of these Pokemon be compatible with each other? Like, a snake and a sheep? How does that work? I don't know if I want to say, but there's, like, a, there is a feature on certain animals, like, mostly birds and reptiles, that I would argue all Pokemon must have, because then they could be compatible to, like, to have an egg. You know what I mean? To, like, to inseminate an egg and lay it. I will say no more, because it's a, I think it's a little bit too blue for, like, what I like to stream. Like, you know. Birds and reptiles. Not that birds and reptiles can interbreed, but whatever. Like, Pokemon, the weird part about Pokemon is that, like, it's always the female. The female always determines, like, which egg it is. I guess, so the other, okay, the other one that I could talk about. I mean, like, I could talk about it, but I'm like, I don't want to say. I don't want to say the word out loud. The other possibility is if Pokemon are, like, kind of digital creations, and so, like, something that just being in the presence of an opposite sex Pokemon it like triggers something in a female Pokemon to lay an egg. It doesn't make much sense to me, but, like, I don't know. It's possible. This could be some some augmented reality. I was thinking more like that Pokemon are like partly electronic or digital, not electronic, but that Pokemon are like Digimon in some way, but like they exist in the real world. I don't know. Digimon have eggs, don't they? I think Digimon have eggs and hatch them in that one. And I mean, Digimon is kind of like, it's not countercultural, but it's like kind of edgier. So like, Digimon probably, you know, get into it. Yeah, the like sexy angel lady Digimon, like the hip edgier answer to Pokemon. Yeah, the Sonic. That's a good way to put it. The Sonic to Pokemon's Mario. Yeah. It's like corporate edginess. Which is no mark against anyone who enjoys Sonic, but Sonic is like safe. He's still like a safe area. Although safe within Japan, because I think of like Shadow the Hedgehog is the one that I always come back to. Like they gave him guns. Like the opening cinematic to Shadow the Hedgehog's own game, he cocks a handgun in it, and it was like all very like edgy, dark, edgelord. Maybe that's just Sega. Sega being like... Sega taking too many... paying too much attention to like 4chan or something. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. Sonic the Hedgehog is a character that I've never actually like played any of his games. Now that I think about it. Kind of. That's not true. I played like one of those old like Tiger Electronics games. These little handheld like... Oh, nighttime. Somebody turned the lights off. Oh, come on, you guys. I need another egg. It's been an hour and I've only hatched one egg. How can this be? It didn't take this long when I was... this morning. Well, anyway. I'll try and get an egg. Okay, I'll do a few more laps, and if there's still no egg, I'll just take the midstream break. Yeah, Sonic games are a can of worms, yeah. I mean... I wanted to be coy about it, but I think I would like to stream, because I have an emulator for it. I'd like to stream the, like, Dreamcast Sonic Adventure. Because I think that would be fun. Actually, were both of the Sonic Adventure games were on Dreamcast, right? Or was there... Was it... I actually don't know what... I don't remember... So, guys, I don't remember what order the Sega consoles were released in. I don't know which... What came after the Dream... Was the Saturn after the Dreamcast, or was that before the Dreamcast? Oh, hi, Maverinthia. Welcome. Welcome to the Pokemon Aren't Laying Eggs stream. Oh, Saturn was before Dreamcast. Okay. So it's Saturn, Dreamcast... Oh, I guess was the Dreamcast the last system? Oh, Saturn was your first console. Neat. Yeah. Just remember, I've seen some of the Segata Sanshiro commercials as preserved on YouTube. Okay, you know what? I don't want to have to spend, like, 5,000 Poke Yen just to take my Pokemon out of the daycare, because by now they're going to be like 20 levels and no egg. So I'm going to deposit them again. I'm going to save Scum again and deposit them, and we're going to come back after the break for hatching more eggs. I don't know why these two are giving me so much trouble. I swear, like, I got... Because I bred Gyarados. I got Gyarados and, Serpentina to have an egg, like, on stream. Right? Remember? Like, 2 nights ago. Oh yeah, it's the RNG of love. Like, they show interest in each other, so they don't have... They're, like, they are compatible. They don't have the, like, mixed genes that mean they can't breed. So, okay. Time for the midstream break. Here I was being really optimistic on, like, getting... I can ideally get 2 shinies this stream. We might only get 1, but let's see. We'll see. I don't wanna write them off just yet. So, feel free to get up, get a bathroom break, get a food that you want to eat. Enjoy the music, and I'll be back soon. I need to use this. Dang. Sorry to interrupt the Ace Combat music, but I'm eager to get back in the... Yeah, I gotta stream the Ace Combat games at one point, at least 1 through 3, because like Ace Combat 3 is amazing. Anyway, thanks. Yeah. Oh yeah, the Be Right Back scene. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making that. That's the kind of like background that you only end up making after you like do a bunch of attempts. Like I basically, actually, that was something I looked up a reference. I basically just traced like a video gamer desk that somebody had made. I like traced it and I like redid some stuff. I put up the rat because the rat, as Mavrinthia has brought Cheezer to the party again. The rat is like integral part of the stream culture. And yeah, I've got what's her name? Is it Avinia, the dragon from Super Lesbian Animal RPG, like peeking around the corner? It's kind of a spoiler for Super Lesbian Animal RPG, sorry. But that game was really fun, and I thought she's heard the little... It was from this, like, flashback. There's a flashback where it had that artwork in it, and I thought it was so cute, I just had to put it in the scene. She's peeking around the tower. And all the stuff on the wall. I gotta have, like, I gotta show my solidarity to have the pride flag up there in Palestine. Yeah, spoiler, there's a dragon. Well, I say it's a spoiler because I said what her name is, and you're not supposed to know. It's supposed to be a surprise. Well, I might have got it wrong. Maybe that was not her name. Maybe I got the wrong name. Not a spoiler. Not a big spoiler. It's just a little spoiler that there might be a dragon in Super Lesbian Animal RPG. Which, oh yeah, I was playing that around Pride Month, but I'd also played Celeste, I think, before it. Which, I went back to Celeste and I started getting more of the strawberries in the early levels. And I'd love to resume streaming that. Maybe I'll, like... I might get the rest of the strawberries, like, kind of on my... Or no, it would be fun to stream the strawberries, I don't know. There's so many games I want to stream, or, like, resume streaming that I never, like, properly finished. Like Celeste. But there's only so much time in the world. Alright, I need to be checking at the daycare. Oh, finally! It was a lot faster this time. Ah, it's you! Yeah. You know what? Actually, maybe the daycare man does know how the egg got there, but he's like, oh, this is a child. I'm not gonna give this child the birds and the bees talk. Or the, like, you know, whatever the way Pokemon actually breed with each other. It's, I think it's a 6-letter word. It starts with a C. You can, keep it to yourselves if you know what it is. But if you know, you know. It's a very common thing in the animal kingdom. Think, Knuckles the Echidna. Anyway. I only said that because I was thinking of Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog came up earlier. But yeah. So, oh yeah, so if anybody else, I think I explained this at the start of tonight's stream, but for anybody who's only shown up since then, which I think is everybody who's watching, if y'all want to shiny breed in this generation, then you gotta save before you give Pokemon to the daycare people. Because once you give 2 Pokemon to them and they, like, the game is like, are they compatible or not? Then, like, the stats for the Pokemon that comes out of the egg that they produce will be set. They're already set in stone. So that's why my save game is so far back. And I kind of thought that ended up being the case from my testing between yesterday and today, but then Tudai, who you might know from, like, who did, like, a Bionicle game speedrun recently, and, like, has done a lot of, like, decomp work, and, a lot of work around, like, games and stuff, namely working on, like, the Monster Hunter servers, the old school Monster Hunter. Tudai pointed me to a decomp for this game that was like, hey, yeah, it turns out that's exactly right, that the egg stats get determined when you hand in the Pokemon. Oh, hey, Deco, welcome. I'm doing pretty well. I got an egg. I'm incubating a Mareep egg. Yeah, how's it going, dude? I'm just gonna be biking up. I've probably got like 40 laps to go. 40 laps of Goldenrod City. Does that mean on a bone? Yeah, nothing too exciting. Well, if we're lucky, if we get both of the eggs and I'm like, if we get the shinies that I want and we're not like too far into the stream, like if I'm still like have enough energy, then I've got a bonus. There's like a bonus thing that I want to do after we get our eggs, but it's only 2 shinies, so it won't take crazy long. Yeah, because we're going to get a Mareep, and I already know what I'm going to name her. The hard thing is that I want to get a female Mareep, because that's what the name I got. Have we already got one? No. This is going to be the first. This will be the first shiny that I've ever got in this game before. Like, I've only ever... The only other, like, mainline game, aside from, like, the Let's Go games that I've ever got a shiny was in Pokemon Heart Gold, where I forgot that you can't get Weedles in Heart Gold, like, on the route that's north of, like, south of Violet City. And so I was looking around for Weedles for so long that I found a Caterpie. I found a shiny Caterpie. So that's the one other, like, shiny that I really count as having caught myself. And I don't even like shiny Caterpie. I think it's kind of ugly. I think it's an ugly color. But we're gonna get shiny Mareep, and I like shiny Mareep, and shiny Flaffy, and shiny Ampharos. And that's why I'm getting it. And I think I took a look ahead to figure out if there are any egg moves that I would want to teach a Mareep, and there aren't, so we don't have to worry about that one. We only have to worry about actually getting the egg hatched. So let's check our egg. Yeah, that's the first message. We're very early in the process. Yeah. But yes, this Mareep will be the child of Cobra King and Malafi. This is what I almost... Oh yeah, I said earlier, I wish we could put the radio on in-game, but it'll get canceled out when we cross this barrier here, this boundary. I could put the midstream playlist on, but then I won't be able to hear it. We just gotta live with this fade out. Like, when I was playing this earlier, I was just playing it, like, on my GBA with the volume low and watching, like, videos and stuff, because... You know, what else are you gonna do? But, yeah. It's funny. I went back into Gold to catch some Pokemon, because I want to catch... I decided to catch some, like, early Pokemon just to trade... To facilitate trading Pokemon from here into Gold. Because we're gonna need to bring Cobra King over to get the second shiny that I want. And I was like, oh my gosh, all my old Pokemon from Gold, like, it feels like so long since I've seen any of them. I guess it has. I guess it's been like a month since I've played Gold on stream. We got Rosencrantz and Lord and all those, and I'm like, it'll be nice to get back to them, and then I'm gonna miss all the Pokemon all of my Pokemon friends in Silver. But we are gonna play more of Silver, because we need to get past the Elite Four almost all the way to the end to get, like, all the Pokemon we need, so... Much, unlike with the Red and Blue stream, where I only needed to get, like, as far as Cinnabar Island to actually get all the Pokemon, and then, like, we never went to Victory Road and the Elite Four with my Pokemon Red team. For Silver, we're gonna go all the way. And actually, Pokemon Red, my Pokemon Red, game is going to make a return in this challenge, in this playthrough, because I need them. I need them. I need to be able to get a Mewtwo and a bunch of other stuff. We need to get the legendary birds. And my intention with this whole thing is that all of them have to be new Pokemon. Because it would be easy. It would be all too easy to just trade over one by one all of the first-gen Pokemon that I've caught and, like, breed them with a Ditto so I get new eggs. But I'm like, no, no. We're gonna catch new ones. And I think for the baby Pokemon in this game that we have to get, like Pichu and Igglybuff and stuff, I think I want to catch, like, just 2 wild Pokemon and have them lay the eggs. Because it would be easy to get a Ditto and do it, but I'd rather just have, like, 2 actual, you know, 2 actual ones of the species. They get to give birth to their little pride and joy who will never grow up. Which actually, now that I say that out loud, it sounds kind of sad, but I mean, like, there's no reason for me to evolve any of the babies. I'm just filling out the Pokédex. It's sad but true. Oh, I forgot. I was gonna do this on stream. Or did I already do it? No, I didn't. Okay. Well, after we after we get the shiny Mareep, which will take a long time, clearly. After we get this shiny Mareep, I'm gonna change, I finally found a Quick Claw. I forgot. You talked to a lady in the national park to get it. And I'm gonna give Mulan the Quick Claw because that'll be the most useful thing she can have. And it'll ensure that she's even better at catching wild Pokemon for us. But yeah, she's one of the Pokemon I'm gonna transfer over to Gold because she's gonna be just that good. Whoops, pardon me, sir. Whoop. I'm using one thumb each for up and down just because it, like, alleviates the strain on my fingers a little bit. And then, like, if I have to actually maneuver any other way, I'm like, whoop, whoop, whoop. Bumping into people. Whoop, dang it. See, like that. Okay, let's check in. Oops, not Mulan. Okay, that's message 2. So, we might be around 3,000 steps so far. We're over halfway, I think. Yeah. What a stream. We talked about Fortnite and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh yeah, and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That came up. Because yeah, I was checking, I have a copy of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red on a flash cart, so I could play it. I kind of want to wait and stream it, just to see what it would be like to stream, but you know, I don't know when. I've already got the next game that I'm going to stream already lined up, so it's not going to be that one. Like, I don't plan very far ahead, but, like, if I think of a game I want to stream, then I'll put it on the list. And my next game is kind of a redemption. Something that I need to correct. Sort of a personal embarrassment. My next stream game after Gold, Silver, catching them all. Oops. But I won't say what it is. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh. Rain's coming down hard outside. I can hear that, like, that swoosh of the rain in the wind, and then occasionally there will be, like, a big drop that hits my window. The anticipation is immense, yeah. It'll be quite a, considering how long it's taken to get to this far just in Gold and Silver, and we have, you know, 2 other games to do to catch all the Pokemon. It might be a long time. Like, I don't know, I have no idea how long this challenge is going to go for. So yeah, it might be a long time until the next stream game in the queue, in the very short queue. It's funny, I've seen some bigger streamers will have like voting and stuff, and like a lot of like they'll make a game out of like their communities picking what games to play next, and I'm like, that looks like so much fun. If I ever got really big, I would do something like that. I think it would be more about like which games, like whether I'm going to stream a game next rather than whether I stream it at all, though. I don't know. It's crazy. It was, I'll say who it was. It was Joseph Anderson, who I have like kind of mixed feelings about, but he's generally pretty entertaining. Apparently he, in his Discord, he has like this whole like insane game where there are like bombs and angels and different levels, almost like the levels of hell from Dante's Inferno, where games can like be promoted or demoted. Here we go. Okay, moment of truth. We need a shiny. Give me the shiny, please. It's only the second egg, but it took a long time to get. Oh, it's no shiny. No. No nickname to Mareep. But let's check. So this Mareep should have different stats. But it's a boy again. It does have different stats. Okay, it does have different stats, so the reset works. Because this one had a special defense of 8, and the last one was a 9. There's also a boy again. There's a boy again, but I want a Goyle. I want a girl Mareep, because I already have a name. Okay, Cobra King. I had Cobra Queen, and now I have Cobra King. Cobra King is Cobra Queen's baby. Does Flame Body work here? Is that like a Pokemon ability? Because Pokemon didn't have abilities yet, so no. Oh, does that make eggs hatch faster? Like if a Pokemon with Flame Body is in your party? That sounds cool. Because yeah, Pokemon don't have abilities yet in Generation 2. That sounds like a Generation 3 thing. Yeah, no worries. Honestly, Kubo, Pokemon breeding and egg mechanics are really complicated. Like you just have to look up a guide if you want to actually get anywhere. Either that or you have like a happy accident where you end up getting the Pokemon you wanted. Okay, yeah, Flame Body, speech of hatching time. Now I heard, I think Mavarintha, you were talking about it last time, that there are charms or like incense in later games that like improve your chances of getting shiny Pokemon or like different ones will do different things for the baby, which I think is interesting. Rare Charm, yeah. Okay, Rare Charm is the one. But yeah, no such luck in this game. We just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah. I will say that I am prepared to go for a total of 3 hours on the stream, like an extra hour longer than I usually do, in the hopes that we get a shiny. I forget what the chances are. And you know what? Man. It's a real shame because the only way that we get a shiny is if it is a female, because Cobra King has the shiny DVs. Well, you know what? Maybe I should explain that in case anybody doesn't know. I've said in the previous streams, but I'll say it again here because this is the dedicated breeding stream. Yeah, extra hour rather. Yeah. Who knows? I might even go an extra. No, I won't go an extra 2 hours. 10 o'clock will be late enough. But anyway, yeah, and the way this game works is they first and second gen have DVs instead of IVs, and DV inheritance does two things. Well, actually, all it does is DV inheritance, but like, a Pokemon will get the defense its DV is determined by its opposite sex parent. Defense EV will be inherited directly, and then I think it's the special DV that informs special attack and defense, but it's one DV. I think that one is either the same or it's 8 points removed in either 8 points greater or 8 points less. And then some of the other DVs are influenced, but like attack, defense, and special are the ones that are determined for that determine whether Pokemon is shiny. And there's like one specific defense DV and one specific special, and then the attack DV can be one of like I think 10 different values. Anyway, if you get a Pokemon that's shiny already and you breed it, then like some of those DVs are guaranteed. Like the way the inheritance works, your defense DV is guaranteed, and then the other one is either going, like there's a 50-50 chance that one of the other ones will be the shiny DV carried on. And then the only random part that's left up to chance is whether the Pokemon is a boy or girl and which attack stat you get. So having a shiny Pokemon gives you like way improved odds for the baby to be a shiny. But it's still odds. It's something like, is it like 1 out of 1024 or something instead of the normal like 8,192? I don't remember. Somebody made a chart somewhere. Maybe it's on Bulbapedia. But yeah, if I will say, if I don't get a shiny on stream, which will be very sad, but it's possible. If I don't get a shiny on stream tonight, then I will have to get one off stream because it'll just take so long. Like, my next 4 streams will be just me trying to get one shiny. Oh no, wait. I hit B. I hit B by accident. I hit B by accident. I hit B by accident, and that means that the egg is gone forever, and I don't get the egg. They're gonna like make it into an omelet or something. Dang it. I don't know why I was pressing B. Like, you can press A to advance text too. What's wrong with me? Yeah, sorry y'all. I think it's because I'm talking. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. Chances for an egg to appear are, like, pretty low. Here's what we do. Here's what the heck I'm gonna do. I'm gonna count the laps I do to get an egg to appear, because, like, every, like, 250 steps or so, there should be, like, a decent chance for your Pokemon to have an egg. If they don't have an egg after 10 laps, which is 1,000 steps, then I'll do a soft reset and give them to the daycare again, because it's just going to get really expensive to keep going on laps, and sometimes, like, it just might, you know, if we get really unlucky, it just might not turn up at all. And I promise I'm going to hit yes. This feels like I was watching Game Grumps earlier, and maybe I've just been, like, poisoned. I've got the, like, I've got this sort of, like, doofus Let's Player influence on me, where I'm, like, making stupid, obvious mistakes. Get out of the way, ma'am. Sorry. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna switch over. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna switch to the GameCube controller because it's a little more comfortable to use the analog stick for this. There we go. Oh, that's nice. And I can save battery on the GPA. Okay. So we can just chill out here. It is weird to play this game with an analog stick, but I will stick with it. It's just so much nicer on my thumb. Instead of having this, like, tiny little point of contact that, like, digs into the skin, it's just, like, this nice soft rubber analog that they finally realized the N64 analog stick was really harmful to your hand. I wondered, somebody must make, like, little rubber covers for N64 sticks, right? Like, maybe I should get one of those. Get something like that. Or maybe, like, just wrap some rubber bands around it. Because now that I have an N64 cart, I'd love to stream some of those games. I mean, I have a flash cart. I even got... I found the, like, beta pre-build of, Dinosaur Planet, so I could stream that one of these days. The weight of refusing the egg lays heavy on my mind. As I bicycle up and down the road. Could that egg have been the shiny that I so desperately seek? Could it be? Whoops. No, I don't want to battle. Hi, Drowsy. I actually encountered a Ditto by accident when I was doing these egg cycling runs. Yeah, no daycare, man. Has it been 10 laps already? I'll do one more. Oh, finally. Phew. The magic words, I'll do one more. Just one more. Okay, I'm pressing the big green A button this time. Nah, which is a big... You can feel that it's different. Okay. Ooh. Sorry, y'all. Both to y'all watching and to the Pokemon. Okay, Cobra King has grown by 6. It'll take a little longer. It's only natural. Pokemon have different species, you know, they have different, like, anatomy that they gotta figure out. It takes them a while to, like, cozy up to each other and decide that they wanna, like, they wanna have a baby, they wanna have a child. You know, it just occurred to me. So the reason that I take them out of the daycare is just so that I don't spend more money than I need. But having them in my party, I think, is nice because they'll get to see the egg hatch. And in my mind... Oh, hang on. Can we do this? Let's put the egg in between them so that they're both next to the egg. Cobra King and Malafi get to hang out with their egg and incubate it and take care of it. It should at least be next to Malafi because she's the mom, and a Mareep. Mareep has got to be really cozy with all that wool. Yeah. Oh man, could you imagine if this egg is a shiny? That'd be amazing. I mean, that's the thing, we don't even have to check gender. I was checking gender for the Ekans, so I was so used to that. I was like, oh, the new egg, oh, I hope it's a boy. But for this one, if it's a shiny, then we'll know right away. Because the only... if the Mareep is a girl, she's inheriting the shiny genes. And if she's a boy... If the Mareep is a boy, then he's inheriting Malafi's genes, which are not shiny. Yeah, I was thinking about the way shiny genes work. I think 2 Pokemon with shiny genes can't mate with each other. Because having the same defense stat and then the special stat being either the same or off by 8 means that they're potentially related. And Pokemon will prevent you from breeding them. But if you're shiny, then then those genes will be the same as another shiny Pokemon. So shinies can't breed. I wonder... It almost feels like a breeding thing, like having Pokemon that are... Like having animals that become infertile because of the way breeding works. Like... Ligers and Tigons. Yeah. You don't know how many of these mechanics are intended. I know that this part is intended, the inbreeding... Preventing inbreeding is definitely intended because it'll give you a message. If the Pokemon are incompatible because of the DVs like that, then it'll say that they're not interested in each other. Like, that one is for sure. But the weird thing is that later generations don't do this. Later generations don't prevent inbreeding, and I don't know why. You can just keep... Like, if you're... Maybe it makes the shiny breeding easier, but it's like... I don't know, Pokemon, what are you saying? What are you saying about breeding? I don't know, maybe they do that in like the animal breeding world, which is just another mark against them. I don't know if... I don't think the devs intended you to use the red Gyarados to get a shiny, or even if they intended you to breed shinies, but maybe they did. Like, you're definitely... They definitely designed the game around breeding across species, because that's how, like, egg moves work. That for sure. And I would imagine that they knew that you would have better shiny chances if a Pokemon is a shiny. If a parent is a shiny, so... I think that was, like, either intended or a happy accident. But I don't know. I don't know if any of them have given interviews. I don't know if, like... I know Iwata worked on this game a lot, but... from what I've heard, it was largely... Like, he's responsible for making it fit on a Game Boy. That's, like, what the credit was, so... But I don't know, like, what else he did on the games. Like, there's probably some person whose name we've forgotten was, like, actually responsible for this part, for these mechanics. And we'll just never know who they were. Because Japanese game publishers and development companies are really tight-lipped about what their developers are responsible for. And they'll, like, blacklist you if you try to go to another company. It's really bad. That's really, really nasty. You can't do that. It's like, it just becomes slavery at that point. I think some American companies will do that with their employees, but, like, they have to be sneaker about it because we have some, like, protections around it. And I think unions will step in to help you with that. Well, although, I don't know, that was something I was learning about recently, is one reason, in order to avoid getting shut down by the US government, or to get from getting censored or whatever, back during the Red Scare, is it the Motion Picture Association? Or maybe, like, a lot of the major, like the Screen Actors Guild, like the unions, or both. They really clamped down, like, they set very specific rules about what filmmakers could put in their films. And so, if you ever wondered why Hollywood movies from, like, that era, from, like, post-World War II era, up until, like, about the 70s and 80s, when more experimental filmmakers were allowed to, like, make their stuff, if you ever wondered why they were kind of, like, limited in certain ways, especially during the 40s, it's kind of because of, like, the government trying to, like, be anti-communist. It's also... I was watching it because I was watching a series on propaganda. It's like, it's also a reason that we get a lot of, like, cop shows that are, like, very pro-cop and kind of racist, and all sorts of other things. And it's like, you know, these exist for a reason. These exist because of, like, scare tactics and pressure and, like, not explicitly censoring anything, but, like, you know, Hollywood and big TV producers and stuff were like, well, we gotta set these rules because we will get shut down. We will get interfered with if we don't. Yeah, really sneaky stuff. Why was I talking about that? I don't remember. Oh, because of game developers getting blacklisted in Japan. Because I imagine that happens still with some US game devs, but I don't know. It's got to be harder to do because unions. Unions are good. Unions are good. Also, it looks like even streaming, just checking on the bitrate, it looks like even streaming over a VPN is, like, I'm not taking much of a hit. At least at this resolution. Because normally I stream at 1080p, but for Pokemon I was like, I don't need that many pixels. Oh yeah. But getting looping kind of back to the topic that spawned that whole rant. Yeah, I do wonder if there are interviews with the, like, game devs at Game Freak from around this time. I'd love to see some insight into what it was like to build these. Oh, you once worked in an office where if they caught you in a union, they'd fire you. Man, that sucks. I mean, I feel like I've heard about that happening still, even though, like, under the law, they aren't supposed to be able to do that. Like, isn't Walmart has done, like, a lot of, like, they've, like, done a lot of anti-union action, but, like, if you don't have the money to stand up to them in court, or if your union isn't strong enough to, like, actually, fight for your... Yeah, exactly, you need a lawyer that costs money. Well, the other thing, too, is that unless you're, like, a perfect model employee, your supervisor can probably find something to justify firing you that's not related to the union, and then it's legal. You know what I mean? They can be like, oh, well, you know, he wasn't perfectly on time, you know, every day, and we just need someone who's more... We're downsizing. We're shrinking the number of positions that we need for this task or whatever, you know? Some nonsense like that. Some real bull honky. And, they can, like you join a union and then you get fired for something else. I think that's what usually happens in this country. But, like, yeah, I don't know. Some unions are going to be stronger than others, too. Like, the Screen Actors Guild was able to go on strike for months and, like, actually get a resolution that's decent, from what I understand. Or is it SAG-AFTRA, I think? But, like, I don't know. If you're in, like... I'm trying to think. Is there like IT unions are probably not very strong? Yeah, as always, the workers at a disadvantage. Yeah. A great disadvantage. It's tough. It's a tough world we live in. Like, that was something. I was thinking of getting into a renters union, but it's also like, if you're not careful about that, you could get evicted. Because landlords don't want you to be in a union. In lieu of that, I've just been very, like, quick to call up, to, like, actually make phone calls about, like, repair issues and stuff. Like, hey, there's water coming out of my bathroom ceiling. Like, you gotta, like, this is your fault. Like, this is your job. Gosh. I don't know if I said this before, but, like, every March since I moved into my apartment, like, many years ago, it's been, like, I want to say it was, like, 5 or 6 years in a row, like, on cue, as, you know, as winter faded into spring, like, I would just get a bunch of water, like, damage into the roof and ceiling of my bathroom, and I'd have to call up, like, it to get repaired or whatever, and they're like, okay, we fixed it, and then, like, next year it would happen again, and it's like, did you fix it, though? Is there maybe the problem is something else? And, like, I swear, every time it was a different reason, but it was always the same spot in the ceiling. So I'm like, I don't know if it really was a different reason why there was, like, a water leak, or if it's just they do the thing that I've learned to do in IT, which is, like, just make a reasonable guess as to what it is. Good old cutbacks. Yeah. You know, and I feel bad because, like, landlord's pretty bad, but the superintendent of my building is a really nice guy, and he's, like, on it. Like, I could probably have a problem in the middle of the night, and he'll, like, get up and fix it. Oh, okay. Moment of truth. Egg. Shiny, please! Do it for the stream. You're live on Twitch. Be a shiny Mareep. No. Man. No, this is not a Mareep we're gonna keep, but I do gotta check the stats. And Cobra King and Malafi are just doing such a good job, but they're not getting in. And it's a boy again. No wonder it wasn't shiny. I've got 3 boys in a row. Okay, here we go. It's using the GameCube controller to do a soft reset is a little awkward. Oh well. We're not going to keep this one. Oh, that's good. That's such a good one. It's a very good one, Chainsaw. Oh, is that a Pancham emoji or just like a panda? I think Pancham might be the one I'm thinking of. This is very cute. Daycare lady. I heard the Ekans cry, and for a second I was like, wait, Gyarados? But I was like, no. Gyarados. Oh, Admiral Baru. Oh, I don't know that character. I just, because it was Pokemon, I was like, that looks kind of like a rotund Pancham. It's one of the few Pokemon names that I remember from recent generations, because it's very cute. Although they already had a panda Pokemon, I don't know why they... Oh, whatever. I'm gonna flip that. I was gonna say, oh, they already had a panda Pokemon, but actually, no, wait, you know what? No, it's good that they have multiple panda Pokemon. That's species diversity. That's like a good sign that the Pokemon ecosystem is healthy. I don't know, is that like a One Piece character? What is that from? Admiral sounds like a... That's the only thing I can think of as being like... From like Admiral. Oh, you never saw Pancham before? Yeah, he's got like a little twig sticking out of his mouth. It's adorable. Like, that's the thing. As much as Pokemon has always had like weird and questionable designs, but like they still... And they still do, like Lazazzle or whatever it's called. The like lizard harem Pokemon. It's kind of a creepy design, but like they still can do the cutes. Oh, okay. It's not like a reference to a character in a show. It's just Baru. Salazzle, that's what I was thinking of. Thank you, Mav. Okay, Baru is a username. Okay, gotcha. It's it's like an original character. Original character, do not steal. It's cute. It's cute panda-like design. Adorable. Let's say that it's like convergent design. Like Game Freak also came up with a panda-like creation that looked similar. I feel like convergent creativity is something that is worth like acknowledging more. You know, like that sometimes two different people independently come up with something that's like got a similar inspiration. It happens a lot. And then something that always bugs me is when people like immediately assume that something is stolen or an imitation, when it's like, no, let's give them the benefit of the doubt first. You know, I can say that I don't really have a strong opinion on Pal World, although it's like the kind of game that I don't really want to play. Like I had my fill of like survival games a long time ago, and like most of them are like, it sounds neat enough. Like I could play Factorio probably for a long time. Like there's specifics like kind of crafting survival games that I might gravitate toward, but Pal World looks like the kind that I wouldn't. But I also don't want to criticize it too much because it does seem like, I don't know, it's very contentious. Yeah, you tried it but dropped it after 5 hours? That's fair. Honestly, it looks, I think it might just be the like, it's an Unreal Engine game, I think, right? It's got that look of an Unreal Engine game where like you use like the default lighting and materials and things, and you don't quite know how to make it look right for your own game. I don't know, it has this weird dissonance between like the way the world looks and how cute and animated all of the characters are. Like the shading, like it's like they use real grass textures but then like toon shaded creatures, you know. It's not really my... Yeah. You don't want to shade this a bit generic. Yeah, I guess that's the other way too, is yeah. Some of the designs look pretty cool. There's that big, like, yellow and black looking guy that has the minigun in all the promotional material. That's kind of a neat design. But yeah, some of them do look kind of boring. I guess that is something you can say in favor of Game Freak and their Pokemon designs, is that even if you don't like a design, like, they are very creative. Like, each one really does stand out. Like, even though they've remade Pikachu in a dozen different forms, like, you can kind of tell, like, the different, like, you know, Togedemaru looks different from Mareep. and like, I don't know, Pachirisu looks different from Sentret and Furret and all these creatures. That's not a great comparison. Pachirisu looks totally they're like totally different animal inspirations, but I don't know. Togedemaru is also a name that I only remember because Drawfee had like a bit where they like a really bad an attempt at a really like really poor attempt at a joke by one of them in the middle of their one of their videos, trying to be like Togedemaru sounded like End of Tomorrow or whatever, that Tom Cruise movie about like time reset, like a time loop. Edge of Tomorrow. They like heard like somebody says Togedemaru, and then they're like, oh, I love that Tom Cruise movie, but it was so confusing. And it's like, are you trying to talk about Edge of Tomorrow sounding like Togedemaru? It was a stretch. But then like this Deep Blue Ink animated it, and it's one of my favorite videos. One of my favorite videos they've done. That's funny. If y'all haven't watched Drawfee, like I find them very cozy. They're a very cozy watch. And like I have such a like desire to do some like digital art, but like I don't have the skill or the patience. So I've tried my hand at it a few times and like never really done it. And then I see what they do and I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that. And then I don't do it. But they're also funny. They're talented artists and they're funny. They could turn like a really bad attempt at a pun into an actual funny bit where they're in laughing fits the whole time. Like, I don't even remember what Togedemaru looks like. I think it's a very round... It's one of the really round Pikachu-like Pokemon. Might be ground type or something, or normal. Yeah. Now I'm starting to think that that egg I accidentally refused was going to be our shiny. I remember in 3rd gen, speaking of Pokemon designs, I really liked Zangoose and Seviper. And like, that's a classic example of Pokemon designed with each other in mind. Like Pokemon designed with a larger like ecosystem where you have the mongoose Pokemon and the snake Pokemon, and they like battle each other. Yeah. I think I always preferred Zangoose because there's something about Seviper, like the sprite for 3rd gen Seviper, where it's like it's got that like here be dragons in the water like looping up and down body shape that I thought was like not as cool as if it was like coiled up or like ready to spring or whatever. Yeah, you love how Zangoose and Seviper interact. Do they have like some kind of special something when they battle each other? I don't think I ever noticed. But like, I always like Zangoose's design. It's very hair metal. Like, Zangoose is gonna whip out a guitar. I don't know if they're good Pokemon though, but if I ever play 3rd gen, if I ever get around to doing that Pokemon Ruby Nuzlocke, I hope that I end up with a Zangoose. That'd be fun. Oh, Zangoose benefits directly from poison. Really? Ah. I didn't know that. That's something I'm gonna have to relearn if I ever play those games again, is all the Pokemon abilities. The only one I remember are that starter Pokemon usually have the, like, their type moves get boosted when they're low health. That's, like, about it. And I know there's, the, like, Ghost Bug that evolves from an Nincada, or that you get when you evolve an Nincada and you have an extra space, has that, like, special ability where it can only be injured by... It can only be hit by effective moves. Which makes it a really... In a weird way, it makes it a really exciting Pokemon to use in a Nuzlocke. Oh, in X and Y and Horde battles, you can get four Seviper, Zangoose, and one of the other. And they'll battle between each other. Oh, before going on you. Oh, that's cool. They like gang up on the Seviper gang up on a single Zangoose. Dang. Yeah, Horde, I never played far enough into Pokemon to encounter Horde battles and all that stuff. Sounds cool. I remember the beauty contests in 3, though. That was cool. That was a cool idea. Like, I love any opportunity to breed Pokemon for anything other than battling. And I feel like that's something that the later generation games have done really well. Like, Heart Gold and Soul Silver had the, like, Olympic Games, which I tried a little bit, but I didn't understand how it worked. Maybe you have to look up a guide. Yeah, it's cool having Pokemon that are natural enemies to make it feel more alive. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm trying to think if there's a lot of that in first and second gen, or if there are any examples. There aren't really. I guess Slowpoke and Shellder, sort of, like Shellder, like Slowbro is ostensibly a Shellder that latched onto a Slowpoke tail, but like it doesn't look like a Shellder. Mareep and Corsola. What's a Mareep? That's a Pokemon I've never heard of. I know Corsola, though, because that's 3rd gen. I think. Or wait, is Corsola in this game? No. Oh, Marini's an Alolan Pokemon. Wow, yeah. I never played those games. In the heck? Oh, Corsola is in this game. Okay, yeah. Jeez, okay. I'm gonna soft reset again because I don't want to spend... Look at that. I'm gonna be spending like over 4,000 Poke Yen in order to pick up my Pokemon from the daycare. Come on. Yeah, you gotta get it by fishing. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to get it to fill up the decks. I was just like, for some reason, I couldn't remember for the life of me if Corsola... I don't know why. Why is it so hard to get just an egg to get an egg laid? Like, once we get the egg, it's like just spending all the time. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking at this point, we'll be lucky if we get Mareep shiny, and so I'm gonna say that whatever the outcome of this stream is, I'm gonna try and get the shiny Eevee in between. And so on Monday, with any luck, we'll resume Pokemon Gold with shiny Eevee, who's gonna be my Umbreon. And I really like shiny Umbreon. It has blue rings instead of the yellow ones. It's like a blue moon Pokemon. I forget where we get the Super Rod. I know we get the Gold Rod in Olivine. But I think we might need a Super Rod for Corsola? I don't remember. Yeah, the Coral Reef Pokemon. Corsola's habitat has been largely eradicated by human activity, especially around the Australian coastline. I was like, wait, what? Australia exists in Pokemon? Yeah, right? Shiny Umbreon looks amazing. Glad you agree. Yeah, it's... 2nd gen shinies are mixed. A mixed bag. I will say, turn down your brightness if you decide to look up shiny Golbat. It's like, it's an assault on the eyes, if you ask me. Basically, out of the core Pokemon that I picked for each of my teams, for the gold team and the silver team, out of the core team Pokemon, I can only think of one for each that I really wanted as a shiny. Like, shiny Ariados looks okay, but I like shiny Umbreon better, and considering how long it takes to just get an egg, I'm glad that I'm only getting one shiny for each team. But every other Pokemon I like really the shinies are either like not different enough or they're really ugly color combo. Like, oh yeah, like shiny Typhlosion is just like more kind of yellow. It's kind of boring. Shiny Onyx looks cool. Shiny Onyx is like gold, and shiny Steelix looks even like more gold. But like, I'll stand by the fact that shiny Onyx should have been black because they have that Pokédex entry from the first game where Onyx like turns black as it gets older. You know, like its namesake, like it actually turns to an Onyx color. But then they didn't do that when they made shinies. That makes me annoyed. I guess when you do the harden, it like makes your Pokemon temporarily like shiny black, like an Onyx. But that's only temporary. I'm talking about a permanent color change. Yeah. Oh, I wonder if... Oh, no, I shouldn't do... I was saying, I wonder if I should like try to get shiny... legendary dogs as shiny or any of the legendary Pokemon, but I'm like, no, I can't do that. That's crazy. That'd be madness. Like, I'm gonna be catching new legendary birds, so like I could like catch one and then like see if it has shiny DVs. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That'd be a pain in the neck. I'd have to catch one like 1,000 times. Because I would have to use a DV calculator to figure out like if it would be shiny in Gen 2, I think. So, it would be possible. But nah. I think some people do... They call it like a natural shiny dex, right? Or just a shiny dex where you fill out your Pokédex with entirely shiny Pokemon. Or do you have to have like a shiny Pokemon and a 9 shiny for each species? Is that how that works? I feel like a natural... Or is a natural dex the one where you have one of... You actually have a Pokemon of each stage as well? So like you would have a Charmander, Charmeleon, and a Charizard? Oh, it depends. Flippin' heck, how many levels have we gone? 8. Okay, I'll go a little bit longer. Once we hit 10 levels, I'm gonna like reset again. Oh, Living Dex is having the whole dex in the box. Shiny Dex is the same with this shiny. Oh, okay. Yeah, did I say Living Dex? I think that's what I was thinking of. Shiny Dex sounds like too much. Too much work. Too much work, and... Like I said, I think some of the shinies are ugly. Like, I gathered a few shinies in Pokemon Let's Go, because they're really easy to get. But, only a few. I got, like, Shiny Ponyta and Rapidash, because Shiny Rapidash is awesome. We got Blue Flames. Sign me in. Sign me up. Yeah, Living Dex is very fun, Shiny Dex is madness. Yeah, sounds good, sounds good. Oh, finally. It's gonna be expensive to pick these guys up, but... Okay, this is gonna be... I'm gonna take the midstream break again. Because it's been another hour. And then when we come back, we're gonna hatch this egg. But I gotta also pick up Cobra King and Malafi. Oops. Well, you know what? It's funny, the GameCube D-pad is like a little more rough than the GBA one, but maybe that's only because I've like worn down... Maybe I've just worn down my GBA D-pad to be softer. Okay, well, let's get out here and on the bike so that we're ready to go. And I don't save. We do not save. Okay, get up and move around if you've been sitting down this whole time. Get up and move around if you've been sitting down. Planet Pete will be right back this way. I can't think of a rhyme to say. Enjoy the music. Hey, I'm back. Thinking of Ace Combat from that, from some of the music. Y'all remember? Anybody remember Tom Clancy's Hawks with an X? It's like the edgiest trap. HAWX, and it was like an acronym for something. I don't remember what. But I remember like that game came out back when I think there wasn't even a single Ace Combat game on PC. Maybe Ace Combat 6 was out, but that was on like the Xbox. So like any other Ace Combat game, you could only get it on like Sony consoles. And oh, and maybe there was like some portable, like there's some PSP games, maybe in a Game Boy. I think there's a Game Boy Advance Ace Combat, but point is that like you couldn't play the mainline games on anything but Sony. And so if you're like me, at the time you didn't have a Sony console, and I was like, I don't know, Hawks feels kind of like, it seems kind of fine. Like people are saying like it's okay, and I was like, and I had fun with it and whatever, but it was like, actually having played an Ace Combat game, it's like very watered down. It's like a very watered down version of what Ace Combat offers, and it's also like got, you know, the problematic kind of story that a lot of Tom Clancy games do. I think. Because the plot is that you're an Air Force pilot who, you do one mission as part of the Air Force, and then you retire, and you get picked up by a PMC. Like a PMC hires you, and you're like, oh hell yeah, I love flying military jets, I want to join up with this. And you do missions with them for a while, and then it's like, oh no, it turns out the private military corporation is evil, and then you have to do rogue. You have to go rogue against them and whatever. And it's very dumb. And it's like the whole messaging seems to be that the PMC is evil because they're not because they allow countries to act to distance themselves from war crimes and atrocities, but because they're not beholden to a government. It's the US military is great because they're loyal and honorable or whatever, but the private military, the PMCs will work for anybody, and so they're evil. And shut up. But I remember at the time, that was the only way that you could play anything like an Ace Combat game on PC, and when I remember, there were only a few levels that were actually fun to play, to play or replay. And the one thing they had distinguishing themselves from Ace Combat was this there's this I forget what it was, this special engage enemy pilot mode, where it goes into this distant third-person camera where the controls change, and it was this neat idea, I guess, that was hard to learn, and ultimately was not any more effective than just fighting them normal. So, because it was kind of hard to see where you were going in this alternate camera view. You could crash into geometry, crash into the geography pretty easily. It was very strange. But I still have a copy. Maybe I would stream it sometime and just be fun. But I remember when I played Ace Combat 7, I noticed that the soundtrack for the first mission in that game it sounded like it had a little bit similar to the menu music for Hawks, almost as if they're but it was a better track than the Hawks menu music. And it's almost are they taking a shot? Are they taking a little pot shot at Hawks, Tom Clancy's Hawks? And it's hey, because it reminded me of the old game. I was oh yeah, Tom Clancy's Hawks is kind of mediocre, and it had Ace Combat has always had problematic messaging, except for maybe Ace Combat 3. But at least they kind of know what they are, and they don't set the games in the real world, so they can kind of distance themselves from any real world implications. I don't know, I think since Ace Combat 5, the plot has always been it's almost been Hydra in Marvel. Hydra is secretly manipulating the United States and Russia to fight each other. That's that's what Ace Combat 7 ends up being, kind of, if I remember correctly. Or no, they did kind of a hybrid plot between Ace Combats 4 and 5, where 4 is what is it? 4 is it almost feels like World War, somewhere between World War 1 and 2, where the war is kind of dumb and it happens for no good reason, but also there's a malicious intention on your enemy side, and there's a super weapon that was used to blow up asteroids. Because, it's if somebody tried to do an anime about an Air Force. Some minor explosion outside. Or somebody dropping a giant concrete slab on the ground, I don't know. Anyway. I was just thinking about Hawks. Sometimes I think about Hawks with an X, because they made a sequel that was worse. I actually played it, even though it's actually really hard to get on PC these days and to install it. I had to get it through Amazon, I think, because it's not available on any normal game providers, and it's bad. I really hated it. I don't even remember why I hated it, but I played through it and I was I will never play this game again. Oh, I think one of the things I really hated about it is because the only way you could unlock more planes was through the online multiplayer, I think. But nobody's playing it. Barely anybody's playing Ace Combat 7 online on PC. And like Ace, I think Hawks 2 is even shut down. I don't think you can play online anymore. So it's like, sucks for you, you can't earn any more points after beating the campaign. Yeah, oops. Yeah. Once upon a time, I thought I could make, like, my own version of, like, an Ace Combat game that was less problematic, and then I was like, oh, this is really hard. This is really hard to even make a game that plays as well as Ace Combat. Like, just to get the player controls to feel right. So, much respect. Okay, we're a decent way through. I think if this one is not a shiny, I will try one final time. But I'm hoping this is the shiny. I'm hoping this will be it. Because we talked about Tom Clancy. We're gonna make the egg so angry that it decides to be a shiny and to spite Tom Clancy. Come on, let's do it. Tom Clancy's ghost will haunt this stream if we don't. Damn. Whoops, whoops, there we go. Yeah, I'll stand by Ace Combat as one of those problematic faves. Oh, this is why I was thinking about Hawks recently, because for the longest time, one of the planes that Hawks has that Ace Combat games don't is the Blackbird. The, like, recon plane, which kind of makes sense, because that, like, there were never weapons on an SR-71. Like, you can't use it in combat. It's just a spy plane. Like, that's its whole thing. I don't think you could put weapons on it even if you wanted to, because, like, if you fired a missile, like, you would outrun the missile. But, so for the longest time, I was like, oh yeah, this is the only game that has that. And, nope, actually, Ace Combat 3 has their own, like, future version of, like, an SR-71 in it that has, like, it's cool. It's got, like, an extra tail wing, a tail fin on the bottom of the fuselage, and, like, it's like NASA white with, like, the paneling. You use it to fly into, like, low orbit to take out some... I forget what the mission is. I think you're taking out, like, some... like, the opponent corporations something or others that are gonna, like, destroy satellites. Maybe that was it. It's weird. Like, they actually model the physics differently when you're up in that mission, because you're in low orbit, and, like, there's like, no airflow, or very little airflow, so, like, it's harder to control your plane, and, like, you need to use... like, it really relies on thrust a lot more. It's, like, it's super... like, your flight ceiling is also, like, really close, so you kind of can only go so high. And that, and the plane handle's different. It's just, you know, I love Ace Combat 3. It's weird and wild. And it's got, like, brain scan copying technology to artificial intelligences. And cutscenes done by the Ghost in the Shell people. It also had a fan base dedicated enough to translate the Japanese version so that, at least translate it with subtitles so that we can actually get the proper version in English instead of the botched, like, the gutted version that was actually released, where they just removed, like, all the cutscenes and the story branching. It really sucks. It's like, why even release it if you're gonna just take out half of the game? Yeah. And then I noticed Ace Combat 7 had some, like, token references to Ace Combat 3, where there were some free skins that look like the, that are like some of the AC-3, like, aircraft skins. Which I was like, that's kind of neat. But I would have liked it better if they gave you, like... I would have liked it better if they actually had, like, one of the aircraft from AC-3, like the Delphinus. I know somebody made a mod. There's a mod of the, I think it's one of the Delphinus aircraft that you can put in there, which looks really cool. And I think it has like the same aircraft sounds, I forget. I'm gonna sleep. I'm getting sleepy from all this biking at nighttime. Depending on how long it takes to get this egg, maybe this will be the last one. Oh, never mind. I think we'll have enough time to do a one more egg if... Well, actually, the one more egg would be in gold if this is the shiny. Like, if this is the shiny, I'll take King Cobra into Pokemon Gold and we'll try and get another egg. And if it's not the shiny, then we'll still bike some more. We get to bike around more in Silver. We get to play Silver for a little more before I let them take a rest to stream Pokemon Gold instead. Because this is going to be the last that we see of Platy and the gang for a little while. Oh, here we go. Shiny, please. I want a shiny. Shiny, 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 shiny Pokemon. Shiny. Ah, it's not a shiny. A regular Mareep. Let's see about the stats at least. Oh, it was a girl finally. So this is gonna be... So this girl Mareep does have shiny DVs, but she's not shiny. So we reset once again. Oh wait, I was looking at the time. I was looking at the session time instead of the like actual clock. We have a decent amount of time to do another egg, yeah. I was worried for nothing. But I think we're getting closer. We got like 3 boys in a row, and now we finally got a girl, who's the only gender that can be shiny from this pairing. And I want to believe that, or is this the time when I put the egg in between Malafie and Cobra King? I'm gonna do that again. Such is the life of the shiny hunter, yeah. I just feel a little more under pressure because I'm on stream, so I'm like, what are we all getting out of this? That's why we talk about... This is the space to talk about games and books and TV and media and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Ace Combat 3 also has some, like, interesting character names, like Abyssal Vision. That's the only one I can remember. And there's also Commander Kim, who's, like... It's a little weird. He's, like, kind of... Because he has the name Kim, I guess he's kind of, like, Korean-coded? And, like, Japan and Korea have, like, a very sordid history. So it's like... Oh, wow, we got our egg really fast this time. Maybe this is it. This might be the one. It's talking about Ace Combat 3 problematic stuff. And like, I say that as the least problematic game in the Ace Combat series. It's still got its, like, implications. Yeah. But at least AC3 is kind of critical of, it's actually kind of, like, critical of corporate greed and, like just how pointless war really is. Because the plot is that, like... Okay, I'll reorganize the Pokemon and then I'll explain the plot. We want to put our egg in between Cobra King and Malafie. Okay. So the plot in Ace Combat 3, AC3... I'm gonna call it AC3 even though that might confuse people with Assassin's Creed and other games. Armored Core. But AC3... The plot is that there are basically like 3 corporations that have taken over the world of Yugia or whatever it was called. Oh, Strange Reel, that's it. Strange Reel is the world of Ace Combat. There are 3 corporations that kind of control everything instead of the government in the future, which I find that kind of far-fetched because, like, corporations are, like, more interested in, like, racketeering than actually running government, but whatever. In this future, the corporations are in control, and I think there are 3 main ones. There's, like, Upeo, Newcom and General Resource, and they each provide different things. They've kind of created their own monopolies where like General Resource does like, I think they're like industry and stuff, and like Newcom is kind of like advanced like future tech. Newcom has the like unique airplane designs that are not based on any real world aircraft. AC3 is like, they really leaned in on like custom airplanes that like look really weird. Oh yeah, I don't have to check the daycare when I'm in day. They look really weird and cool, and I like it. But then yeah, Upeo and General Resource have their own things going, and I don't know. They just start fighting each other for dominance, and they just go into conflict. And I think at some stage it turns out that like, I don't know. There's some twists. There's some twists big and small, and there are branching story paths, and like there are these two sisters who are pilots, and like I think there's one path where like one of them dies, but like and then like neither of them can survive, and one of them wants to be part of the, well, that's something. AC3 has the electrosphere, which is like, I guess it's basically just the internet, but with the advancement of like brain scans and artificial intelligence, there's like this interest in getting your brain scanned, like getting your consciousness transferred into the electrosphere. Like we never see it. Well, or maybe we do. That's the thing. We never see the electrosphere, except that we kind of do, maybe, but it's unclear. It's kind of ambiguous. And our character is also very mysterious until that's one of the big twists. Is like, who are you really? Do you even know? Have you even thought about it? Like, nobody has said, but you're like, I think you're a new, I think UPEO. Are they even a corporation, or are they supposed to be like the future UN? I'm trying to remember. Maybe that was it. Maybe they are supposed to be the future UN, and then General Resource and Newcom are the two corpos. I don't know. And then there's a third faction that I forget what it's called, but like they're like the rebel faction who's going to reshape the world, and it's like, oh cool, we kind of want to take down the bad guys, but you're also sounding a lot like you want to kill people. Like you want to like you also kind of sound like eugenics talk, like you want to have like a pure new world or whatever. So it's like yeah. It's cool, and it's got this like cool, because it's in the future, it's also kind of, it's got this sort of pessimistic, almost nihilistic vibe to it, kind of like the same vibe I kind of get from Ghost in the Shell, like the first movie, for obvious reasons, right? Because of the animation studio being involved. But the music has this like really cool, like almost I don't know how to describe it. It's this cool like synthwave sound. And there's this one track on the soundtrack that's not actually in the game. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a pipe organ that's pulsing. It's a pipe organ that sounds almost like it's been played backwards, and the like volume of it pulses regularly, and it's just got this like, I've never heard anything like it, and that's the kind of music that I'm often drawn towards. I don't know, AC3 is amazing, and I love it. And like, it was several years ago, I decided that because I realized that I had a PS2 and I had not been playing Ace Combat, even though I kind of wanted to. Oops. I meant to hit start. I realized that I could have been playing Ace Combat for a while, but we're early in the egg process right now. I decided to collect Ace Combat games, and I played Ace Combat 1 all the way through Ace Combat 0 in order. So it was Air Combat, Ace Combat 2. I played the Japanese Ace Combat through the translation, then Ace Combat 4 and 5 and 0. And I was like, oh, that's really neat, but like I don't really understand why people like Ace Combat 0 so much. I think 5 is better. Like 0 is kind of weird. I don't know. 0 feels like Zero feels like the most shonen anime of like all the Ace Combat games, because they have the guy who like, I think it's Pixie 1 or whatever, the guy who like who's like your wingman who turns evil and he comes back, and then like the kind of pathetic in like a kind way replacement wingman you gets like killed trying to like save you from the like, you know, the your friend gone bad, and you have this like big showdown. It's like, oh, you can only kill him if you shoot him in the like intake, and it's like, oh, that's dumb. Like, why do I really hated the final boss fight in Ace Combat 0. It was like, why do I have to like, what's this super plane that I can only kill it from the right angle? It's like, I don't like it. But yeah, Ace Combat is a lot. And Hawks is a poor imitation, but like a neat idea, I suppose. It's just also attached to the Tom Clancy license, which is gross. Yeah. I really love Ace Combat 5 has like the great soundtrack, and that moment in the last mission when the chorus kicks in. It's like you have like end of the world stakes in this like airplane game, and it's just very, it's like, it's ridiculous in only the way that a Japanese made game can be, while also taking itself serious, and that just makes it, that's the sort of thing I love. That's something I love about Japanese creators. Being able to just lean in. I don't know. It kind of gives me the same vibe to Monster Hunter sometimes. Oh, I've ever played Dragon's Dogma. No, it was actually, yeah, no worries. It was a good time for I was trying to find a topic change, actually, so thank you. I've tried Dragon's Dogma a few times, and I like kinda, after the first area, it was kind of hard to like get into the flow of it. It's funny you mention after I was talking about streaming games. It's one of the games that I would want to stream one of these days, because it's one of those games that I've always wanted to actually play through all the way, and I like never set aside the time for it. But if I promise myself to do it on stream, then I will actually play it proper. So I think I'll be streaming it one of these days. Because I know they're like, did they release this? They announced a sequel recently, right? Or did they actually release it by now? I have no idea. You know, I think I, like most people, was convinced to play it because of Matt Lee's and his big video that was like, this game is overlooked and it's amazing and it's like weird and like awkward, but like in a good way. And I was like, oh, I want to play that. I want to like pick up people and throw them around. Yeah, everybody's going crazy now because it's coming out this it's coming out this month. Wow. Okay, yeah, I had a feeling it hadn't come out yet, but yeah, wow. Yeah, I have the, what's it called? The Scorned Edition or whatever? The Sullied? I forget what it's called. Yeah, you have to try collecting dust in your library. Yeah, exactly, me too. I have the PC edition that's like whatever it's called. The frickin' dragon rips your heart out of your chest. Oh, that's it. Dark Arisen, yeah. You are the Arisen. We don't know why, but the dragon took your heart out of your chest, and like that means that you're still alive and you're like cursed or something. You have this massive scar. Yeah. I think that was one of those games that like gives you a lot of good customization options in terms of like body shape that most games don't, where like you can be plus size or fat or whatever you want to call it. It really isn't really a good word for that. Like, plus size feels very, like... I think the term plus size feels very condescending. Oh, body shape also matters in the game. Oh. Interesting, interesting. Like, it actually shapes your hitbox, you mean? Or is there something else? Because I think when I played it, I always played, like... I played a mage class, and maybe that's what held me back a little bit, because like a lot of that game is like one of the big selling points of the game is that you can climb on monsters, and if you're magic, there's not really a good reason to do that. And you're also not going to be good at throwing people a far distance, I don't think, because like I would guess that throwing people is part of your stats, like how far you can throw them. I remember it was one of those like kind of old school difficulty games too, where it's easy to die. But yeah, it's fun. It'll be a fun game to stream because you can choose the name of like your companion and like you end up creating at least 2 different characters. Oh, being small and light makes you faster and being bigger makes your equip load wider. Oh. It actually changes like some of your hidden stats. See, that's awesome. I love that. I think I should probably be... I think what I'll try and do is I'll try and be like a melee class, and my companion will make them a mage, because I always like magic stuff, but I think you can like mix classes in that game too, right? There's like, you get like 3 starting classes that are like warrior, mage, thief, but then they branch out into like more specific classes with special stuff. I don't know. It'll be fun to explore, because I never played very far into it, but it's very cool. Okay, here we go, egg time. Oh, and that didn't take long at all. We have so much time. We have so much time to get eggs. Oh. I'm sorry to be disappointed about a newborn, but this is what we're trying. We're trying so hard. Let's check your stats. That was another boy. No wonder it wasn't a shiny. Okay. Time to get back to it. Just gonna try again. It's like, wow, this is the first time that I'm seeing you today. Oh, Cobra King. Wow, I've never seen this Pokemon before. That's quite a nice name you've given that Ekans, young man. Oh wow, Malafi is such a nice name for such a nice Mareep. Okay, here we go. Imagine being born and everyone around you goes, oh. yeah, that's exactly right, Kubo. Wow. I imagine the big crowd, that stock effect of a crowd going, oh. I mean, I guess, like, breeders probably have that problem too, but I don't know, screw them, breeding is bad. I think we went over that breeding animals is bad. So screw them, they can be disappointed in not getting whatever they wanted. Like, there was this, not to go into it too much again, but there's like this Russian guy who was trying to breed domestic foxes, and the only way that he could get the permission to do it, like, from the government at the time was if he like, set up a front as, like, breeding foxes to sell their furs. And it's sad. The way that he bred the foxes is that any foxes to breed them for domesticity, he would try to interact with the foxes, and whichever ones were like more scared or hostile were the ones who would get turned into furs. Like, they would get, they would not survive. Because, that was how he would keep up the front, and, like, I don't know if he felt bad about that, maybe. But I feel bad just knowing about it. And, I mean, it did teach us, like, we are able to, we are able to learn some things about how, like, maybe dogs were domesticated, and, like, what domestication, how, like, certain physical traits might be related to domesticity, and, like, what traits in behavior, like, relate to them. Because, like, the foxes I think the foxes this person ended up with, and I mean, the methodology might be flawed, so it probably doesn't tell us a lot, actually, about how domesticating animals works, but some notable things were that, like, the fox's ears kind of went floppy over the generations as they got more domestic. And I think their coats turned brown. And there were some other features that changed too, I think. But, like, I don't know. And so now there is a breed of domestic fox that I guess people can get that, like, exists. That might be only legal in certain places. It's weird. It's like, it's a sad story. It's a bummer, but it's like, it's also strangely interesting in like kind of a morbid way. Cause yeah, like I'm just resetting time, honestly. I'm doing like in my head, this is the same Mareep getting born over and over again with just different, but we're like altering the timeline to get a specific Mareep. Yeah, the floppy ears are kind of related to tameness, yeah. Because it's, you think about it, like wild, like with cows, like cows have floppy, no, they don't really have like droopy ears though. I don't know. Yeah, there might be a word for it, but I wouldn't, yeah, I wouldn't know either. I know with dogs, so a better fact about dogs, or a better fact that is about dogs, is that dogs, a big difference between domestic, I mean all dogs are domestic, but a better, or no, they're not, that's not true, they're wild dogs. The big difference between dogs and wolves, one of many big differences, is that dogs have a muscle in their face that allows them to raise the middle of their eyebrows, like to do like sad eyebrows, that wolves don't. And I believe the consensus, or if not the implication, or the implication if not the consensus in the scientific community, is that dogs develop this like as part of a way to like communicate with humans more, like in more varied ways. It's like dogs learn to make like sad faces for us. Isn't that cute? Isn't that sweet? I think it's very sweet. Like, this is not even specific dog breeds. This is like all dogs. Like, all dogs can do this. All dogs can make sad faces. Or I think so. I think most of them. You know, the puppy dog eyes face. But wolves, nope, can't do it. They don't have control over that part of their face to do that. Since dog needs to communicate to us, so they develop the muscle. Yeah. That make faces we can comprehend. Exactly. I just love that it's like specifically the middle of the brow. It's specifically that, like, to be, because like if you think about it, like, you know, move the middle of your brow up, and that's like you can make a sad face. So that they can let us know that they're sad, or that they're like empathizing with us being, like they can recognize that we're sad. Because like I don't know if dogs are capable of like empathy, like properly understanding empathy, but they are smart. And like I think animals are all intelligent in their own ways. But I think they're mostly capable of, like, sympathy, if nothing else. Being able to recognize when somebody is... like, being able to, like, feel compassion for someone else. To feel emotions about someone else's well-being. But it's like, yeah. I wonder if you could breed a cat to be... Or I wonder if a cat could ever, like, develop that level of emotion or communication. I mean, cats have their own communication. But, like, they're necessarily less intelligent than dogs because they're just smaller. Or, like, they just don't have... Cats just can't have that same capacity for intellect that dogs can have. Although you can train cats, I understand. As I understand it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Cats are more wild in a sense, yeah. But, I think house cats kind of... I don't know, sometimes I've heard the discussion around house cats is that they kind of retain some infantile behavior, or rather... The one thing that I heard is that, like, meowing is a behavior that kittens use to communicate with their mother, but that adult cats will grow out of. But this is sort of like a... But I think that's only observed in, like, big cats. I don't know if... Because it's like the... It's very clear that meowing is maintained as a method to communicate with humans, but, like... I'm not sure if it's, like, specifically an infant-to-parent thing, or if the cats kind of... Because then cats recognize the humans aren't their parents, but they do treat... They recognize us as their caretakers. And they certainly... Like, because cats don't meow at each other. That was the thing. That was it. I think that was what I was trying to remember. So, like, the supposition is that because cats, like, adult cats don't meow at each other, they only meow at humans. So it's like, it is a directed behavior. But, like, I've heard some people argue that it could be that cats retain this sort of, like they don't grow up in a way. Like, they kind of... Stunted growth is maybe the wrong term for it, but it's like... And that, like, they don't become fully autonomous, I guess. And so meowing is related to that? I don't know. It's like some people will imply that, like, adult cats are still babies, and, like, I think that's not true. That's, like, an oversimplification. But they retain this behavior of meowing because they utilize it to communicate with humans. And I think that's neat. And that's all we need to know. Because, like, cats, like, house cats are not able to live on their own, really. Oh yeah, and cats modify their meowing to which one captures your attention best. Best captures your attention. Yeah. I believe that. Because I've grown up with enough cats, and I've, like, known the cats of, like, other people, like family and friends and stuff, where, like, they all sound different. Like, they meow different. And they'll have different meows for different, like, certain situations as well. I remember this one time where our cat, who was, like, she is so sweet and, like, nervous and not a good hunter. Like, she was very, like, easily spooked as well. And I remember that one time she was bringing over a mouse, and I was like, oh, great, she wants to play. Like, I was like, that's odd. She doesn't like to play very much, but she's bringing over this mouse. And she dropped it, and it was a live mouse. She hadn't killed or even injured it, I think, but I remember she was making and it, like, ran away. She did this, I kid you not, she did this, like, Tom and Jerry move with the mouse where they both stopped for a second, and she was, like, stopped facing it, like, ready to pounce, but then the mouse moved fast enough to get away, and, like, she lost it. But I remember she came over to me, and because her mouth was, she was making a slightly different meow, but she was also, like, she was meowing, like, really frequently because she was, like, excited. She was going, wow, wow, and, like, it was very cute, but also, like, oh my gosh, she got a real mouse. I don't know how she caught it the first time and then lost it, though. Yeah. Poor girl. That was the one time. Like, her sister was the birder, which is a problem. Like, she would actually leave a dead bird or a mouse on the doormat. But, you know, since then we've all learned to keep our cats indoors. We don't let them go outside unless they're supervised, like highly supervised, because it's bad. It's bad for the environment. You can't do that. That's scary. What part of that is scary? That she let the mouse escape, or what? Yeah. It's good. We gotta be responsible pet owners. The cats are already fishing killers. Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, on the flip side, though, we had a cat who was like this. He was less like, he thought of himself as a little tougher than he really was, but he was also, like, decently tough. He also had this tiny little voice that was kind of funny. But yeah, he was like found sitting on top of a dumpster in New York City, and he would also sometimes kill a bird and leave it on the doormat, and I was like, that was very sad. But I don't know. I remember one time he was getting harassed by a mockingbird who had a nest nearby, like just they had set up a nest across the road in like the neighbor's hedge or whatever, and it was swooping down at him, and he was just laying there like sunning on the sidewalk, like, what do you want? like leave me alone. He didn't even bother fighting back. It was just like this mockingbird just swooping down at him every so often. It was very funny because like he could be like really intense, but like also, you know, cats take a lot of time to sleep. Oh, you're just cooking? Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're enjoying your time, Roxers. But yeah. I don't know. That's why I would love to keep a cat one of these days, but I'd only do it if I could dedicate enough time to give them the attention that they deserve. Because you gotta be able to play with your cat and give them like, you know, so they can get all their energy out, and then also give them like cozy time. And, you know, the way I live my life right now, I really don't have a lot of time for that. And also, it would prevent me from going on like vacations and stuff, which I love. I love to be able to go out and like travel across the world and things. And I would be like, if I had a cat to worry about, I would be like, oh man, I gotta get somebody to take care of my cat while I like go to Japan or whatever. Not in the last few years, of course, but like, you know, in the prospective future, before COVID. But, yeah, for now, my parents each still have cats, so I get to visit. I get to visit and enjoy the pets of my friends and family. Yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be the last egg of the night, so I'm hoping we get a shiny. I mean, we've had the gender has been skewed male, so I'm hopefully I mean, it's gambler's fallacy to suggest that we'll get a female now. Oh, the heck? I had like on-screen controls for a second. What was that? Oh, C stick down will like show the gamepad. Look at that. Wow. Isn't that something? Oh. I didn't know you could do that, but I gotta stop moving to do it. It's so weird. Well, I'm gonna leave that off. That's weird. I mean, I could turn that on when I do, maybe there are some Game Boy Advance games where that would be a useful feature. What's that? This must be part of the GBI loader that I'm using. Because, fun fact, the difficult part, the Game Boy player comes in two components. Like, you have the base that attaches to the GameCube and the disc. Everybody lost the disc. Like, every kid like would lose the disc or destroy it or whatever. And so the disc is really expensive, hard to come by. And it's the worst way to play a Game Boy player. Because Nintendo like screwed up their own hardware. Screwed up their own like implementation of the hardware. Like basically the Game Boy player is just a Game Boy Advance board with like the added integration to be able to plug into your GameCube and like stream, like to accept input from your controller and to stream the video and audio out. But it's basically like Game Boy Advance hardware is in there. And for some stupid reason, the official Nintendo Game Boy player disc has this awful upscaling, and it has like massive input lag, and it's just it's horrible. It's a horrible way to play. I should probably show that off at some point. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the stream tonight. I'll like restart the GameCube with the actual official, because I have it. I have the official disc, and you can see what it looks like, because it's not good. But I'm thinking this feature with the control display is part of the interface GBI that I have, which it's loaded onto a memory card, and so every night every night I play, I use this save game exploit. So the actual disc I have in the GameCube right now is the Wind Waker. And Wind Waker will try to load... the Wind Waker, like, save menu will load the GBI loader, or whatever it's called. Yeah. But silly me, I thought that, like... I thought that I should try getting the disc, so I actually bought one, and after I bought one, it was shipped and, like, in transit. I learned that, like, no, this is a bad way to play it, so don't do that. Yeah. I think you can either order... You could do like I did and order a memory card with the loader already on it, or you can use a Wii. If you can homebrew a Nintendo Wii, and then, like... Because that has a USB port and, like, GameCube memory card ports, you can actually get what you need onto a memory card. Okay, last egg of the night. Is it a shiny? Show me the shiny. No, it's not a shiny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. 3 hours and no shinies. But, we can at least take a look at see if we got a girl this time. No, another boy. But the stats are different. So the resetting is working. Alright, so I guess, tomorrow... Tomorrow I'm gonna work at, getting a shiny Pokemon. I might just trade... No, you know what? I'm gonna work at shiny. So, I'm gonna try and get shinies off screen. And then, I'm gonna try and get shinies off screen, but then I will also, off stream, I mean. But then if I still don't have one by the time we're back on stream, then I might just, like, continue doing shinies until we get it. Oh, hang on, here we go. Enjoy the Lucky Channel while I go get the Game Boy disc, because there's gotta be something to enjoy from this whole thing. Yeah, the Lucky Channel Show. Whether you're up or way down low, don't you miss the Lucky Number Show. This week's lucky number is 42022. Oh, actually, hang on. What's our trainer? We only have one thing. Trainer. We don't have any matching numbers. Okay. It is so good. Yeah, the Game Corner, the Goldenrod Game Corner music is just, it's awesome. Boop-a-doop, boop, boop. Okay, quick disc swap here. Don't worry about the this is what the RetroTink looks like when there's no input. Okay. Okay, so now you're gonna learn what you're missing. Don't worry about the cropping. I'm cropping everything so that the game, for like the Game Boy to appear normally. Oh, wow, does it actually line up properly? Not really. Okay, here, let me, there we go. Or no, it does. My display is weird. Okay, I'll show you the full screen so you can see the whole thing. Even though my avatar is over it a little bit. Ooh, Siva Gunner has a mashup with the Game Corner. Oh yeah, I should look that up. I love Siva Gunner. What are they? So yeah, look at how mushy this looks. Off to a bad start. see, we got some options. So they have this nice little menu that's neat enough. You can change your game pack. Timer? I don't know what the timer is. Oh, here it goes. Screen filter. Sharp. Normal. Let's try it. Let's see what sharp looks like, because it's soft by default. We can set our controller options. Screen size is... We can change that. Yeah, that scaling doesn't look great. Oh, you can have different Game Boy colors. Camo? Is there a camo Game Boy? I don't think so. But anyway. Oh, look at that. And there's like, I don't know if it's showing up on stream, but it's got kind of a flickering effect. Do you see that? Yeah, I'm trying to feel out the latency. It's not huge, but I can kind of feel it, like press, 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 down, 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 up, up. The latency isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I don't know. Look at that. Why is it? Ugh. Oh, you know what? The colors are bad too. Look at that. What the heck is wrong with the colors? Nintendo, what did you do? Okay, we got normal filter. Soft filter. Oh, gross. I mean, the frames are kind of cool, I guess. Ooh, digital. Technological. Oh, that one's just kind of ugly. That one's just kind of boring. Okay. Oh, wait, which one is the Super Game... Oh, is there a Super Game Boy border in there? Look at that wood paneling. Space. Ooh, it's like the Pokemon movie. How many frames are there? There's so many. GameCube. Black. Oh, okay, that's all of them. They don't have lime green. That was my Game Boy Color. Maybe they didn't make the GBA in lime green. Anyway, this one is optical illusion. Like, if you look at the center, then the edges look like they're doing weird stuff. Okay, hang on. This is so atrocious, I'm gonna switch back to the regular disc. Hang on. To the good disc, I mean. I didn't realize they got the colors so bad. Anyway, we'll get a very brief Wind Waker, which I have the wrong like capture settings. It's it'll look a little jittery for a second, but here's what I always get when I boot up. You can see behind the scenes a little bit. I have to put this on. Is it this one? No, that's not it. It's this one, I think. Gosh. Yeah, that's the right one. Okay, for a second I was like, wait, is this... Did I do the right one? Okay, let me get in the game so we can enjoy some, like, in-game actual music. For the epilogue. Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I know some of the, like, OG... Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is... Bro, the custom borders are maybe the only good thing about that way of playing. Sorry, I wanted to... Yeah. Yeah, I know. I hated the way that looked. Okay, here. Let's go out on the, because we've been gambling all this time. Let's go out on the Lucky Number Show music. We've been gambling for those, oh, that's right, Station 7? No, it's 7.5. 8.5. My mistake. 1.5. Yeah, the flickering is killing you. Yeah. It's so bad, right? There's a little bit of that, like very slightly in this, but it's like very minimal. It's like the minimal possible, and that's only because of the way the RetroTink works. Like there's a... Actually, the RetroTink might have been messing with the flickering in the like maybe it could have looked better on the capture, but I was looking at it from my screen, it was really bad with the official disc. So yeah, get the you know, loader, GB loader, whatever it's called. So thank y'all for joining me for this kind of fruitless, shiny hatching stream. But I'm glad to know that I can stream over my VPN. I wasn't sure I would be able to. At least I can stream at like 720p. We haven't dropped a single frame this whole game too. That's cool. But yeah, man, SGB8, like I've seen, actually my GB, oh no, that's not true. I have an emulator, or I tried an emulator through my Game Boy Advance flash card that would inject, it had like the actual like SGB Super Game Boy borders for Game Boy games, which is a cool feature, but because it was it's kind of an older emulator, it's like Goomba, whatever it's called, something like that, Goomba emulator. It's missing a lot of features I would need, and like I can't, like you can't do the link cable because you're playing on it. It's like it's emulating it on a GBA, and like the voltage is different or whatever. So it's like, yeah, whatever. But I got the you know, that's why I got a Game Boy flash card that's like Game Boy and Game Boy Color specific. Yeah, a bit bare bones. You mean this one? Yeah. So I mean there are different versions of the GB loader, I will say, the GB loader script. There are some that give you more options, but this one, I picked this one because it's the absolute minimum. Like, it's the best performance. This is what, like, speedrunners use. It's the best performance, and it's, like, very sharp and crisp pixels. But there are other configurations that you can get, too. So I highly recommend it if you have a GameCube, and you either have a Game Boy player or you're thinking about getting one. Because the funny thing is, Game Boy players are not that expensive, I think. Because you kind of need a disc. But with the workaround, you can make them work. But anyway... Thank y'all for joining me. This is a lovely stream, even though we didn't get what we were looking for. Hopefully by Monday I will have at least one, if not two, shiny Pokemon to show you. And if I don't, then we're gonna be shiny. Then I swear I'm gonna be shiny farming until we get one. So, or until we get both, really. Or actually, okay, wait. Here's my plan. If I don't have the shiny Mareep by Monday, then I'm going to switch over to gold, and we're going to focus on gold. And I will shiny farm the Mareep separately. So, like, Monday is going to be guaranteed gold, Pokemon Gold stream. We resume Pokemon Gold. So, yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all again. It's been a lovely time. Yeah, thank you for the luck. Thank you for the good luck wishes. I'll see y'all again on Monday. So, until next time, I'll be seeing you.